Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. I hear him chat from the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the walking. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls better tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. You take the west side, take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Not so tough, but mans keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls, let it tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
You know, it's late July, and typically we're struggling for topics, right? NFL hasn't really kicked off yet. NBA is pretty much done. Baseball, we're still kind of in that boring baseball period. Starts to pick up in the next couple of weeks, but right now we're still kind of like, what's going on in baseball now? Who cares, right? And so...
I mean, Bryce Harper did almost fight the commissioner.
Well, I'm just saying, normally.
Really?
I'm not saying today we don't have anything to talk about. See, Chris, the setup is...
Nose to nose, Tony.
Yeah.
Typically...
Told him, get the F out
Where
of the
was
clubhouse.
Manfred? Why was he on the field?
No, it was in the
the
clubhouse.
clubhouse.
Why was he in the clubhouse?
And by the way, Manfred stood on business.
I ruined
What?
the mean setup here.
Oh,
Stood on
please.
business?
Oh,
Stood on
you're
business.
siding with Manfred. Get out of
Wow.
here, scab.
I missed a lot.
Yeah, so typically the way this thing works is you zig and then you zag. It's like a crossover. Like, oh, I'm going this way. No, I'm not. I'm going that way.
The sham god.
And Chris is like, let's go that way. And everyone just ran up and ran right into the teeth of the defense. Yes, Manfred and Bryce Harper got in a shouting match, and he told him to get the F out because he mentioned the word salary cap, which is...
He didn't even mention the word salary cap.
kinda did.
Harper thought that that's the direction that he was going in, because Harper apparently said to him, if you're even thinking about talking about a salary cap, you can get the F out of our clubhouse.
I imagine it happened like, hey, everyone, if everyone could just sit down before you head out to the field, Manfred wants to talk to everyone. All right, fine. I'll sit here. And he just stands at the center.
And apparently Harper was sitting there. He's holding a bat, too.
Oh, yeah?
He's holding a bat.
Was he jerking it the way you're doing right now?
Well, you remember the one time where against the Marlins and Ozzie Guillen this was when Harper was at the Nationals, and Ozzie Guillen, who was the manager of the Marlins, believe it or not, at one point, and he's yelling something to Harper, and Harper turned toward him and he waved the bat, like he had a deal.
Like it was his
deal.
hog.
Yeah.
Got it. So,
But I imagine he just got it. Like, he got through like a half a sentence, and he's like, if you happen to mention, like, just went right for it. Didn't even let him get to anything. It's just like, don't you dare
That's how I
say the
imagine,
word
too.
salary cap.
Yep.
how did Rob Manfred react?
Well, apparently Harper said they're nose to nose, and Harper yelled to him, if you're even thinking about talking about a salary cap, you can get the F out of our clubhouse. And Manfred, like I said, what'd he do?
Stood on business.
Stood on business. He said, I will not get the F out of the clubhouse.
Whoa. And then?
Well, and then, apparently
Cooler
then
heads
Nick
prevail.
Castellanos decided to...
Hit a home run?
Of course. Nick Castellanos decided to then, kind of cool things down. He then, I got a couple questions.
I'm not going to be deposed.
That was a quote, apparently, from yesterday.
Nice. We got the sound. Just that sound, though. Nothing else. I don't like the term cooler heads prevailed. It's a dumb term. Cooler heads prevailed.
Yeah, was that dumb?
Sometimes the hotter heads prevail. We never give them their flowers. We never say, hey, the hotter heads prevailed today. We say, oh, the cooler heads. They always talk about when they win. They never talk about when they lose, these cooler heads.
No, but I don't think cooler heads prevail is meaning a side prevailed. I think it means that everyone cooled down, and so, all right.
It's two sides. They're the cooler heads and then the hotter heads.
No, I don't think
The
so.
cooler heads prevailed. The hotter heads clearly did not.
I'm with Zaz. It means everyone kind of calm down.
No, because the cooler heads prevailed. That's why they calmed down. Because the
Stanley Cup
cooler
final.
heads, everyone said settle down.
Stanley Cup final.
Cooler heads prevailed.
Yeah.
But
But
don't the hotter heads fight against the hotter heads, right? Because when you have a hotter head versus a cooler head, the cooler head's going to prevail because they're going to be like, yeah, I don't want that smoke. I don't want to deal with this. But the hotter head, now the flame keeps going higher and higher and higher. Now hotter heads are fighting each
We've
other.
all been in a fight where someone's trying to tell you not to fight, and then you get angry at that person. Don't tell me what to do.
Hotter heads prevail.
Hotter heads prevail. but we never talk about it.
All right, well, I guess. All right, I'm going to keep an ear out for the hotter heads prevailing from here on out.
But cooler heads prevailed with
Apparently.
with
I wasn't
Harper
there,
and-
but apparently.
Apparently, allegedly. You sounded like you were there.
Well,
You kind of you took us inside there.
Well, Jeff Passan does excellent reporting.
Yes, he does.
So I feel like I'm there when I read Hassan's report.
When you read, you start to imagine the clubhouse, and you
course.
imagine yourself in the corner.
I know. Well, no, I know where Harper was sitting.
Yeah.
I know where Manfred was standing. Oh yeah, that's called theater of the mind.
Do you imagine maybe some cleats thrown over here, a dirty jersey over there? Maybe some guy on a training table getting worked on his knee.
Hey, buddy over there is just standing in his jockstrap, being very disrespectful. You know, put on some clothes,
Manfred.
dog.
Our locker room, though. You're going to come in here, you're going to see ass.
True.
That's how we do around here.
True.
That's great reporting by Jeff Passan.
I agree.
It gave you all
Felt like I was there.
you could smell the smells of the locker room.
I don't know, but if you're Bryce Harper, can we be honest here?
Be honest.
He behaved like a grown-up.
He did.
Not really.
He did.
Not really.
Look, you gotta send a message, a clear message to that office. We don't play them games around here, right? You can't let them for a second think that we would even entertain that line of thinking. You gotta let them know, because sometimes you give people an inch, they take a mile.
Yeah, but just letting them know that you're not going to be into a salary cap, which, by the way, Bryce Harper, last I checked, doesn't speak for the entire membership, all right? But even if that were the
Yes,
case.
he does. When he talks about no salary cap, he speaks for everybody.
Okay.
Everyone's in on it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty universal line.
Oh, what if
There can't be a player that's
I think
salary cap I'm good with.
this spending is a little out of control, if you ask me.
what if Rob Manfred was about to say, guys, here, I know you don't want to hear salary cap. Okay, Bryce, can you sit down? All right, I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to get the F out of the clubhouse. Hear me out. I'm thinking salary cap, where every team, the cap is $10 billion. Oh, this isn't something to fight about. That's a lot of money. No. I don't think we're going to hit that ceiling.
But one day
But I wouldn't know, because Bryce Harper kicked him out of the effing clubhouse.
One day you might. The concept, right? Because you know why? $10 billion salary cap, not so bad until you realize what the salary cap is now, which is unlimited. It's infinity. It's infinity right now. That's the difference. You made me take a pay cut from infinity to $10 billion.
He's got a point.
He has a
But then
point.
the next year, they're like, 8.
Yeah, I don't think the
6?
counter is the salary cap's now 10 billion. I think the counter is way shorter season. Huh? How about that?
Actually, if I'm Manfred, this is what you do. They'll never do this, but this is what you do. Salary cap, but we increase the minimums across the board.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more of those guys.
No more arbitration.
A lot
You
more
get
of those
called
guys.
up to the show.
But Bryce Harper decided we're not even going to hear what you have to say.
Right. So that's what you need to do. If you're the ownership, and maybe we'll talk to David Samson a little bit later about this, but in collective bargaining, you got to drive a wedge between the rank and file and the superstars. Superstars don't want this, don't want that. Hey, what do you care about whether he can afford his 7th Lamborghini?
You got to know who you're talking to. You're talking to Bryce Harper. You start with
Well, he was trying to talk to the
getting you
talk to the team.
unlimited Zins. We have a new
hold
Zin
on.
deal. And
Yeah,
Bryce
hold on,
Harper's
I'm in.
like,
Hold
all
on,
right,
I'm
man.
state subsidized Zins.
MLB subsidized Zin? Is it branded as
We're
well?
subsidizing.
Luke Combs is going to play the All-Star game. Bryce Harper's like, all right, I'm listening.
And so then Bryce Harper was all, if you're even thinking about it, we will sit out all 162 games. Easy for the guy with the $400 million contract to say.
Exactly.
I don't know. Can Bryce Harper go turn over and ask the utility infielder if he's in on that plan too?
That's my point. You got to drive that wedge. Look at us siding with management. What a show.
No.
Dan will be so proud.
David Samson's there like, yes, I got him.
No. I'm not siding with management. I'm siding with behaving like an adult. That's all.
That's what management
You're a cooler
says.
head.
You're prevailing.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't want to start with Bryce Harper, shockingly enough. Thanks a lot, Chris. I wanted to kind of set the table of all the things that are happening and start with one of the last conversations we had yesterday, Mike, about Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders, who scheduled a press conference that was going to air at 11 a.m. Mountain Time.
Beats me, man. I don't know how that works. Mountain Time? Who uses Mountain Time?
Deion Sanders, who put out a social media video of him talking in very, very breathy, like my emotional, my life, it felt like his life was in jeopardy type of tone. And then we got the press conference. And the press conference is, yeah, he had cancer and it was removed and he's all right now. And I was just like, okay, I mean, look, cancer's not a joking matter. It's very serious. And as I said yesterday, I hope we're wrong. And it turns out we were wrong. Deion Sanders is going to be fine. And the show goes on as usual. He's going to be coaching everything.
Right.
But,
Let's preface everything with yesterday was a really good press conference, right? We want to preface everything with that. That was a good news press conference,
yes,
right?
It was the news emerging from the
Good news press conference.
was good. And
Do as much as you can because I know we're going to be decontextualized here in this segment.
Yes. We love that Deion Sanders is okay. That's what I said yesterday. That's what I say today. I'm happy about it.
Did you guys talk about him and Carucci in the hospital room together?
We did not because we did not have any of that information until.
Man, when I saw that, I was like, huh.
Yeah, that was
Interesting.
That was another thread.
That was another good news situation.
Good
Also
news.
good news for
Good
Coach.
news with Deion Sanders.
Good kind of boy, coach.
Apparently, Carucci.
I know who that is, but tell Billy.
That's who Deion Sanders is dating. Carucci.
You got it now, Billy?
Yeah, I'm all caught up.
Carucci
Thank
Tran.
you, Chris.
She's a singer and
Model?
actor
Yeah.
and model.
Some people are just
one.
famous.
She's famous.
She's famous.
She's pretty.
But she's talented.
She been in anything I've
Talented.
seen?
Maybe.
Probably.
IG?
I've seen IG.
Okay. There you go. She was at, what was that show? It was a TNT show with
Brazilian
Supernatural.
Isles.
no, the one with my homegirl.
Franklin and Bash.
I was
No,
just
no.
going to say that.
My homegirl.
Animal Kingdom.
Charmed.
Damn, man. Homegirl from Reno 911, man. She was in it, and then kind of like a
Claws.
Claws. There you go.
She was also
What?
in Bel Air.
Bel Air. She was in Bel Air. Who'd she play?
I don't know. Didn't watch it. I'm just Googling it.
What's Claws?
Claws.
Claws is like a show. It's also with the guy from, it's Hank from Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
the guy
He's
on
like a
Nash?
pimp or something.
nail salon. It was a
It's
nail
a
salon.
nail salon, but
Niecy
it's like
Nash?
a.
Yeah, Niecy
Niecy
Nash.
Nash,
is
yes.
in it.
I thought you mean Steve Nash.
Yeah, I was like,
No,
I don't
Steve
think so,
Nash
no.
wasn't in Claws. What are you talking about? Niecy Nash, yes. Niecy Nash was the lead. Carucci was one of the people
Nail
on the
techs.
show where it's on the nail tech, but there also there's crime happening out of the nail
They're like
salon.
they're kind of like a gang together, and they do certain
Money
things.
laundering, something
Yeah.
like that. It had a
liked
run. Yeah, I liked it. So, but these are all kind of tangent conversations from what felt like maybe an overplay the day before or right before the press
Yeah.
conference.
I feel bamboozled a little bit. It felt like he was trying to set a scene and then undercut it.
Can we play the video?
Hit it.
Given his commitments to his family and to the team elected to undergo a bladder removal, we performed a full robot-assisted laparoscopic bladder removal and creation of a new bladder. And I am pleased to report that the results from the surgery are that he is cured from the cancer.
You can clap. It's okay.
It's weird, man.
Deion's the best, right?
It just,
It's a little weird.
you know what? If everything that had happened yesterday prior to the press conference, so was just, hey, there's going to be a press conference, and then the press conference happens, I'll be like, that's great news. I think the part that feels a little bit like
Was it the 24 hours where you thought that Deion Sanders was going to die?
it was just the
Because
social
he put
media
out a
video.
video that led you to believe he might be dying?
And then the press conference is, there will be a press conference at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, which beats me what time that actually is. It's Deion Sanders and his medical team.
It sounds like you guys are upset that he made you eulogize him beforehand.
I knew this was going to
like
happen.
you guys feel bad that you
I feel great that Deion
wasted a
No,
eulogy.
that was a great news press conference.
And I knew Billy would like jump right in there.
Why you gotta do that, Billy?
I think the video
Guys
suggests. I mean, it's not fair. I think the video suggests that people didn't know how to react when he's saying you can clap because everybody was over there expecting the worst. Why did they expect the worst?
Because he set it up
Because
that way.
Deion Sanders made you expect the worst.
Yeah.
And like it's a cliche. This could have been an email a little bit. It could have been a press release where you established that this was something that he was dealing with, and then people could prepare their questions, and we can have a big triumphant press conference in which it just led to a lot of confusion. And he's a brilliant marketing mind. And I don't know, it just missed me with turning this into a marketing opportunity. I guess he must have been really negative recruited on the road about his health. It was kind of known in college football circles that he was dealing with something serious. So maybe he took the opportunity to spin it into a triumphant win. But I don't really know the whole deal about setting people up to think that you were dealing with something that at that very moment that you may actually die. Like, I'm not making that assumption. I was worried about that video that we played yesterday because it would lead to wild speculation.
Mike, can I give you my usual suspects moment? I sat back in my chair. I saw it at the press conference, and I was like, wow. And then I started looking at the proverbial bulletin board in front of me. And on that bulletin board was the video that you're talking about, the social media video where he's very emotional and he's talking about, man, like I had to make my will and all that. And I remembered one thing from that video. It was very faint. It was in the background. Most people didn't pick up on it. This man to my left did. It's like, he says there's a very serious thing, and then someone in the background laughs. And Zaz said, apparently not for that person. And that was like a funny little throwaway, right? And at the time I thought, well, it's clearly in the background. It's a different room. People are having a different conversation. But if Deion Sanders was dying from cancer, I don't know if we're making jokes in the other room, even about anything else. We're not talking about the latest episode of Always Sunny.
That was a dead giveaway.
That's a dead giveaway. He's all right.
He's got a show, right? Coach Prime
Yes.
has a show, so he's obviously documenting a bunch of stuff, and maybe that was something that they documented from that moment. I doubt it was something that he recorded 2 days ago. Otherwise, that would kind of be a little sinister in terms of like letting people think that you were dying, just to ta-da, psych,
yeah.
I'm okay. But I thought that the reaction that he got kind of explained where everybody's heads were at, which was just like, okay, you're all right. It just takes a second to process. The media, as far as I know, we're the only people kind of taking this angle with it. The media had to be responsible and overjoyed that Deion Sanders is okay. I
don't think we're the only people taking that angle. I think maybe we're the only people willing to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was kind of
prevailing.
odd. It was a marketing move for a marketing genius, one of the best marketers in the history of the world.
Again, great news press conference.
Yeah.
Right?
Love it.
Yeah,
Love the news.
I didn't know
Billy.
exactly how to react to it initially just because he confused me.
The question is, when he was cured, like a week or two ago, was there like a conversation he had with his people of, let's put this out that sounds real dramatic to tease the press conference, and then the next day I'll show up in a cowboy hat and say I'm fine?
Well, Chris, before we answer, that's a great question, but everyone here has expressed how happy they are. Billy, I haven't heard how happy you are.
No, it's
You're
good.
not happy about this?
It doesn't sound like you're happy.
No,
upset almost.
you guys sound upset that you look kind of like you eulogized him for no reason yesterday. Like, you guys are bummed that like he didn't come out and say he was dying.
We're just
is the tone that is like coming out, whether that's what you guys intend or not. It sounds like that's what your reaction was to the press conference. Like, man, he made me think that he was dying, and now I feel stupid. Like, what a waste of a press conference.
Yeah,
honestly, my takeaway from the press conference is he can pull off overalls. He can pull off some overalls.
If we're being
man.
perfectly honest, because we didn't know what to expect with the press conference, the whole thing had kind of an ominous tone going in. Once Deion walks into that room with all the media sitting there in a cowboy hat and overalls, before he even sits down, you gotta be like, oh, this dude's healthy.
Yeah, like that's not.
this dude is all.
Yeah, he's okay. Well,
this is gonna be okay.
Let's be perfectly clear. Another weird part of that press conference is he's still like very much recovering from this. His life is going to be deeply impacted. He said, I'll keep it real with you. I can't pee the way that I did before. And no, I think you're totally on the wrong side when you say I'm disappointed that he's not dying. No, I'm disappointed that I didn't know he was going to be okay when he knew he was going to be okay for the moment.
But that's the same thing. Like,
No, it's not. No, it's not.
But
It's
maybe he
gladly
didn't
not.
know, though. Maybe he didn't know, and then he found out
no, he
after.
knew-
He's like, all right, I'm good.
He had bladder cancer. He had to have his bladder removed. They put in a new bladder. Like, he's still not good. Like, he's not out of the woods.
Precisely. I mean, all these things should have been addressed on the front end so people could have their questions.
But he's not family of ours. Like, let him release his medical information how he chooses to.
I hear you. He is well within his rights. He's well within his rights to make it into a marketing opportunity and make it a spectacle however he wants. And I am well within my rights to be totally confused by it.
How does he pee?
He says he can't pee the way that he used to. That there was talk that like he may need a porta potty on the sideline. Like, I mean, this is his bladder.
Are we talking about like frequency? Or are we talking about the actual mechanic of how the pee exits his body?
He's got a brand new bladder. I imagine there's a whole bunch of new challenges
how do
that
they
come
connect
with
that stuff?
It's all plug and play, baby.
It's all bolts.
You unplug this one, you get it's like a hard drive.
Put that one in there.
Smack it right in there.
On this side, okay.
It's
all ball bearings.
By the way,
these days anyway.
Billy, I want to object to something you said.
know.
We didn't eulogize him yesterday. We didn't talk about eulogizing. We didn't talk about his life and how great he was and all this stuff. We just talked about like this is a really weird scenario, and that's all we said.
No, I mean yesterday we were making it seem like he was going to die, which is what based on the video, like it was a conclusion that could be drawn.
Yeah,
we were speculating based on the information.
Yeah, that he put out there.
Yeah, we were speculating based on the information that he had been providing.
He made it seem.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
way.
you could have. Yeah,
I wasn't guessing that.
Yeah,
before.
he made it seem that way.
And
we were reacting in kind.
He did have to make a will. Like he did have cancer.
Yes, but not the day that he posted that video, which was it just led to a confusing experience for people that were deeply concerned for Deion Sanders and wondering what this was all about.
How dare he? How dare he do this to us?
How dare he be healthy?
See? I told you.
Absurd. It's just not thoughtful for people like us.
You know what? I don't want cooler heads to prevail on this one. Hot heads, join me. Join me in denouncing Deion Sanders.
I mean, it's irrefutable. He knows how to get people talking. It's like this is something that other coaches have dealt with in the past, and they go about it a different way. And Coach Prime's going to handle it the way that Coach Prime handles it. I think people can be confused by it, but ultimately, he's healthy. He's getting a lot of attention to the cause. I'm sure good work will be done from this. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like, okay, we can disagree with how he went about it. We can feel like, oh, you kind of played us, Coach Prime, but he gets the last laugh, and hopefully he gets to be healthy.
The thing that's weird about this situation, right, if you're like, well, he wanted to, like, you know, publicize this, make it a PR thing or whatever. I don't know the intentions of putting out the video and then having a press conference and announcing, I'm okay. I'm going to be good. I'm still coaching. Like that's weird. That is weird. But
that's all we're saying.
No, but like what I'm saying is if you believe that all of this was like just a PR play, then to me it's kind of weird that we didn't know any of this was going on the front end and you weren't part of like this journey. Like, hey, I was diagnosed with this. I'm battling this. Like, come behind me. Let's support this. Let's fight this together. I would think that he was actually very scared with the situation, which is why he wasn't kind of talking about it publicly. And now once that he's, you know, seems to be on the mend, seems to be in the clear, because even with cancer, like you can say we eliminated cancer, but you have to do like screenings every year, every couple years, and there's years before you're like declared actually out of the woods because it could have spread to some other part of the body, right? You could have a successful surgery and then you can have cancer reappear years later. Like that happens all the time. So for him to not kind of include people on the front end, I would think is an indication like he was actually scared and thought this could be it. Like, this is why I did a will. I thought it was dying.
Oh, it was very clear that he was scared about it, and people can I certainly understand wanting to go through that in private. I did talk to some people that cover college football, and I had some questions about why this was. There's plenty of reasons to keep it secret. Some of them could be personal. Some of them could also be professional. I mean, as crude as it sounds, this is largely a game of talent acquisition, and there were a lot of coaches that were kind of seizing on what was going on with his health.
So you think he may have done this for that purpose?
I think that's probably the main purpose, right?
I think that, yes, from some of my conversations, I think he spun this the way that he did because it was kind of like a triumph and like bucking back at some of the other coaches that were maybe negative recruiting against Colorado a little bit. All this, the way that this all went down did lead to speculation, people still trying to understand his motivations behind it.
In that case, I denounce these other coaches who are talking shit about this man while he fought cancer. How dare you, you animals!
I think also, like, this is not important at all when dealing with his health, but, like, this is also a big win for the people who are like, yeah, Deion doesn't actually care about Colorado. He's just going to bounce as soon as, like, his guys are out of there. Like, he's gone because this was a perfectly reasonable reason to just
step
say,
down?
I'm kind of done with this
Kids
situation.
aren't there anymore.
Yeah, kids aren't there anymore. I rebuilt this program. Like, I did what I said I was going to do. Like, I need to focus on my health now. Almost like an Urban Meyer in a sense, right? Where it's like, I'm going to kind of step away now. I'm going to rebuild my health. And then, like, I'll be back in a couple years, maybe, if I'm feeling up to it or not. But, like, he has gone through this. He's recruited. He's done all the media days, and he says he's going to coach this year.
Yeah, which is why I think he kind of took this angle. The only thing that I don't really quite get and am confused by was that 24 hours there where he led people to believe his life was in grave danger between the time he released that video and the press conference, and it led to a really strange reaction to what is very clearly overwhelmingly good news for Deion Sanders.
You can clap. It's okay.
I mean, anytime you hear the C word, you're going to be kind of scared for your life. No
You've
matter
had the
what
C word,
I've
right?
had the C word twice, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, when you hear it,
Bona fides.
Yeah, man.
when you've heard it, you're like, oh, okay, shit. All right, we got to kind of.
What's that like? Hold on. What was that like? The first time?
The first time I was 5, so I don't remember.
Okay,
It's
the
that
second
chair,
time.
huh? You're like just
The
one of his
second,
saddest
the
moments.
second
Yeah,
time I was in my mid-20s, and that time I was like, damn, okay, that sucks.
What was the lead up?
The lead up was I found a lump under my arm.
You were like,
and-
you just
and
like
I was
lotioning
on the
or
couch.
whatever?
I was on the couch,
Yeah.
just hanging out, watching a game. I didn't have a shirt on. I was up in Connecticut, and I kind of felt something under my arm. I was like, "Oh, that's weird. That I don't have that on the other side."
Yeah.
So called up my parents, obviously knowing the history, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I got this. I don't know what's really going on. We can go check it out at the doctor that we go see." So I did, and they were like, "Yeah, a normal 27-year-old guy doesn't have that. So we got to check that out like thoroughly." And then I did a biopsy, and then stuff came back, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, you got the C word." And I was like, "Damn, okay." What do we do? All right, you got to do this, you got to do that, whatever. But like, you're still scared, even though it wasn't a life-threatening place
Right.
or life-threatening cancer. It was like, shit, now I got to do so much stuff to just be normal again. It sucks.
That's always the move, right? If you feel something on one side of your body,
Check the
you
other
got to
side,
check
yeah.
the other side. Like, nice, I got it
I got
there
both.
too.
But then I'm
Then
worried.
you
I'm
know
like, damn,
you're
I got
okay.
it in both. All right, I got to figure something out here.
I got a lump in my back that I've had for like 7 years now.
No,
But-
then you're okay.
Yeah,
that's too long for it to be bad.
That's what the doctor
Yeah, I think
told
you're
me.
okay.
Nah,
No,
that's
that's
how
what
that
the rule.
works.
I think that's the rule.
I would check that.
Doctor said, like, how long have you had? I
We're
said,
back.
It's been
We're
a
in
while.
the back though. We're in the back.
Right in my lower back, like right here.
Lower back. Yeah, I think you're good.
All right.
You'd have
Yeah,
been
not-
screwed by now
So-
if it was
no,
something.
so I-
No, that's also not necessarily true.
I'm a doctor.
It's true. He is
Damn.
a doctor.
You do a lot.
Doctor, judge, what else? Lawyer also?
Race war expert.
Race for expert, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's why he's got the Zaslow mansion though. Man's got multiple jobs.
Yeah, how do you think I pull this off?
Multiple streams of income, right? But so we're glad that Deion is okay.
Can I ask you real quick, too? What was it
Yeah.
when you were 5?
Stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Stage 4?
Yeah.
Isn't that like, that's like,
Yeah.
Stage 4.
Yeah, it was-
That's down 40 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
You
boy-
came back.
Boy came back.
The comeback kid.
Came back.
That's where he got his confidence.
Tell you.
Yeah, man. How dare?
Wow.
You know what?
How do you like that?
Yeah, up to the haters.
How you love that?
You're like a special boy.
Thank you. That's what I've been trying to tell you guys. You guys don't listen to me.
Oh man, do you understand what that is? That means that's it, man. They started to run the credits and everything. It's like, all right,
So,
man.
hold
They
on.
got the ropes out.
What did I tell him? Put those motherfucking ropes back.
All right, so let's move on to something lighter. Still in the football.
That was a smooth transition.
I
I gotta
know.
tell you.
I learned.
Let's talk about something else.
Ryan Gumble.
Let's move to something lighter. Ryne Sandberg.
Well, okay, that's
That one came out of nowhere, huh?
All right, guys, don't do this. Don't hijack it to get it somewhere sadder. We want it's one way this way,
You're
one
having
way
a
that way.
reckoning with the chair today because you're usually one of the people that are making the tangents and make it impossible for the person in that chair.
Yeah, well, come on, man.
It's a day of reckoning for me. And
Day of Reckoning. That sounds like a movie. Is that a movie called Day of Reckoning?
there has to be a movie
Has to be,
called
and it
Day
has
of
to be
Reckoning.
Cinephobe eligible. But we're talking about football, and on our screens here we have like all the channels, all the different shows are on, and First Take is on.
Really disrespectful tribute to Ryne
I mean, that was it. You didn't even see RIP
Really
or anything.
disrespectful.
It says you're the person that did that.
Well, you know what? So you know what? I'll fix it, Amin.
Thank you.
I
was fixing it, but go ahead. Pull us back. And
No,
then
I'm gonna
I mean, we
really
talked about
quick.
Ryan Sandberg passing, and then you said Day of Reckoning, which is kind of like, that's not the tone.
Movie that came out this year, by the way, 2025.
There you go.
Really weird week for me because, you know, we did the Hulk Hogan stuff last week, and Hulk Hogan was a childhood hero of mine, you know? And Ryne Sandberg was my favorite player growing up. And so in the span of a week, it's like these were two dudes who, for me, I'm 7, 8 years old. He was my favorite player. I loved the Cubs because we didn't have a team down here. There was no Marlins, and we had WGN, which
Everyone
was on.
had WGN.
Right. And by the way, the Cubs played during the day. So as a little kid, I loved the Cubs. And I loved Andre Dawson and Mark Grace and Sean Dunston. But Ryne Sandberg, he was my favorite. And so, I don't know, I guess we're at that age. Now, obviously, he struggled with cancer for a while on and off. But I guess we're at an age now where, like, the childhood heroes, man.
I thought you were going to save it.
Well, no, I
You
saved
just
it by
made it
giving
sadder.
a nice...
What are you
No, I
doing?
saved it by giving a nice
Yeah, that was
little...
nice.
I said nice words.
It's nice. I wanted to
Save it when I got to bring it back to life? How do I save it?
He also, like, relatively young. He was 65.
He had
you know?
cancer.
Yeah, no, he did. He had cancer, but it's one of those things where you weren't expecting yesterday to find out, like, hey.
All of a sudden, it flashed on the screen.
Yeah,
The Marlins
and it was
goes,
everywhere.
What?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Bummer. Sorry,
Anyway.
Amin. Back
Take
to
it away, Amin.
Your jokes.
Yeah, funny guy. Go ahead. So on Get Up, Ryan Clark is on, and I don't know where he's coming on from, but his background, the way he looked on the screen, and if we could throw it up on the screen, it looks like he was at a CVS getting his passport photo taken.
It's behind the white screen.
Right? Like that's you know, you guys
A little
know
bit.
it's right by the fridges, right?
Yeah.
By the photo area that used to be a bustling part of every pharmacy, but now it's like it's a ghost town there.
Dead.
No one's around
You
there.
used to go and like get your blood pressure
Yep.
at the pharmacy. Oh, I love that. Like as
You
a
put
kid,
your arm in that
Love
machine?
that?
yeah, I would go and I would sit there. I was a little skinny
It'd be like, oh, that
skinny
hurts.
boy though.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, but a lot of times because I was so skinny and I was young when I was doing it, it would like go and it couldn't read my arm.
Wow.
My arm was so skinny, the blood
You could
pressure
just-
machine couldn't do it. Yeah, I'd stick it in and then I would push the the thing
Yeah.
and then go and I'm like, man, I hope it takes a long time for my grandparents or whoever to pick up this medicine so I can like finish with it was a game for me. I'd sit down and I'd try to like pull it out and see how hard I could like take the pressure. I guess I was the only one. Go on.
Game.
But it made me think about the pharmacy and, like I said, what was once a bustling business, the photo development part of it, right? You would go there and they would develop photos, and then in later years you could scan photos. It was like the opposite, right? This is how you get your photos digital. You go to the Walgreens or the CVS and you put your stuff in there, and now everything becomes on the digital side. And I'm like, that stuff is done. It's over. My kids don't even know what that section is about. That's just a deserted area with a desk, and they sell like headphones back there, right?
Yeah, if you need something, you're waiting at that counter for a while.
You don't you got to push the button for someone to like come eventually and help
And
you
they
out.
show up and they're like, yeah?
Do you order photos I've ordered
All
pictures
the
to be
time.
printed there?
All the
You know
time.
what? You know what happens, and I don't know if this happened to you guys. Sometimes they don't cut them. So like if
It's a strip?
if I order like a 4x6 or something, they'll print it on a 5x7, and I just get like a white bar on the top, a white bar on the side, and it's like it's like a little DIY project that I have now. Like, what's going on here? Then it's gotten better because at times it was like they would print them and they wouldn't be centered. And it'd just be like, someone's head is missing from this photo. Did anyone look at this at all before you just handed this to me? It's like, no, we don't look at them anymore. Like, that's not a thing. I miss when you used to take the film in and have to wait like 3 days.
An hour. 1 hour photo.
1 hour photo was
Come on now.
1 hour photo is like
You
a
miss
step up.
having no idea what the photos are going to look
Yes!
I kind of do. I miss the thrill of not knowing if it's a good
Ooh,
photo
let's
or
take a
not.
look, and you
You'd
got
go
the
in,
pouch with the
and
photos.
then you'd also like go through the photos, and you would leave some. You're like, nah, this one,
Yep.
I'm not taking this one. Like, I'm not paying for
And there were
this. This one
doubles
did-
of everything.
Yeah, and then you had like the negative, and you'd hold it up to the light. And you're like, I gotta save this if I ever want to reproduce this photo. I'm gonna have to bring this in to Eckerd's to have this redone. Yeah, I miss that. I was talking today about how I miss beepers outside. Yeah, we've
what a
advanced too
time.
far.
143.
Yeah, miss it.
911 was the one. I got page 911.
It was
That's
so rarely a 911.
Oh, it was
so rarely
What?
a
It was
911 when you got
always-
that text.
No, like the actual purpose.
Yeah, when you
Yes.
got a 911 text and you called back, you're like, this is not urgent. You don't understand what 911 means.
We're getting a pizza. What's the topping?
yeah,
that you want?
not a 911.
That kind of is a 911 depending on the situation.
Not a 911.
When are you coming home? 911. Oh, those were the days, man. Then you'd have to you would text people. What's that? 9009, right?
Hey, 8008.
Yeah, or 8000. Oh, 8000.
8085.
You guys old enough that you used to go over to people's houses to see slideshows of their vacations? Yeah. That never happened to me, but I know that used to be like a form of entertainment. Like, come look at us, the
Yeah.
riches, and look at us. We went to Europe. Here's our slideshow, you pores.
Is the family called the Riches, or
No, the
rich?
family is the Riches.
Got it.
They're the rich family, and then they go Richie Rich. Great movie. We're not going to talk about that today.
It's on Cinephobe. We did it.
Had his
Good
own
movie.
McDonald's.
Yeah, he did.
You ever get that 823?
What's that? That was my Cub Scout troop. What does that mean? Something nasty?
Thinking of you.
Thinking of you? Wow. Shout out to Pack 823.
You ever get that 157?
No, what's that?
Keep in touch.
Wait,
You
is
ever
there a
get-
translation? Why is it 157? Keep in touch.
I didn't make the rules, man. You ever get that 637? Always and forever.
Wow.
You ever get that 187?
Oh, that means
Murder,
someone
death,
got
kill.
murdered.
Means
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, it's
Let
murder.
me see that. How you going to do that? Damn. That's like a deadly game of paper, scissors, rock if I've ever
Sounds
seen
like he's
one.
packing cigarettes, right? Like, I used to want to smoke because I love the guys.
That's like a good pack.
pack the
Yeah.
cigarettes.
Smoking
Trouble.
seems so cool, right?
Oh my god.
What's happening there?
I don't know. People just want to be Joe Camel, which is like weird. Just some fucking camel and jeans and like a John Travolta looking camel, and you're like, I want to be that camel.
Yeah.
What was the actual thing they're accomplishing in this
I don't know.
smacking of that?
855 NBA jump. If you know why people used to pack cigarettes, let us know. Call
I
in.
think it just like keeps them all down in the pack, right? Because sometimes they get loose and they move
But
down.
like
so when-
tightens up the tobacco.
like, if you-
Oh, maybe that's it. Tight,
I think the
a
point
nice
was just
tight tobacco.
It meant that like you're not like a noob. You know about cigarettes.
By the way-
you gotta pack 'em.
On that point, I remember when you could go to a pharmacy and buy cigarettes. Can't do it anymore. Or at least in some places.
Really?
In some places, they stopped selling cigarettes. Like, they don't sell tobacco products at
I
pharmacies.
don't buy cigarettes, but I know that they have other tobacco products,
What else?
Nicotine products.
like
Nicotine.
Dutch Masters.
Dutch
and
Oh,
those type
what?
things.
What? Why are you buying
So
Dutch
I've
Masters?
seen. I just saying.
Oh.
I don't.
White
Enjoys a
Owls?
nice- enjoys a nice smoke.
Optimo?
I used to love the old school cig machines.
Swisher
man.
Sweet? Oh, they still got
Love
one that
the
Mama
cig-
tried.
Loved
Right
an
by the
old-
bathrooms.
You pull the lever. You had all the different kinds. I love an old school cig
You go
machine.
lever.
Lever. Lever.
Yeah.
It's a lever,
I
right?
say it the right way. Lever.
Leave her alone.
Better not get that 187.
When you start packing your cigarettes that you got from pulling out a lever.
Thinking about sending you 187 right now.
Okay. David Samson's up next.
Hi, I'm David Samson. How would you like to sit down with me and talk about success in business, which equals money? And I like money. And let's face it, there's a lot of guys in baseball who could learn a thing or two about money. I'll tell you how I went from a law school guy to a newspaper delivery guy to a Wall Street guy to baseball guy to a media guy. If you're smart, great. Maybe you can imitate me. If you're not, take solace. You're just like nearly everybody else. So, you want to talk business? Think of me as your OnlyFans for rich guys.
David, you know this. This is why people don't like you. You're like capitalism in human form. But if people like you and dislike you, then you really have a show.
And I do have a show. Every Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern. Be there. It's 5 days a week. Nothing personal with David Samson.
This episode is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
We welcome in David Samson. Nothing personal with David Samson. You catch it on the DraftKings Network every single morning and, of course, on YouTube and wherever you get podcasts. And, David, we just ran the promo for your show right before we rejoined here. And I have to ask, how many of those ugly-ass jackets do you own?
Oh, I got a couple closets worth, but they're not all ugly. If you have solid ones, you can wear unsolid shirts. If you have sort of fun ones, then you have to wear the solid shirts. Sometimes my rotation gets screwed up and I wear a fun jacket with a fun shirt and it ends up pissing Coca off. But at the end of the day, you know, the rotation is the rotation. So yeah, I follow the internet sales. I'm the guy, I get those texts or flash sales, 70% off, click, and you look and you keep track, you know, of a blazer that you like. And then you can try to time it when it's on sale, the maximum sale. And that's when I try to buy it. I like figuring that kind of stuff out. It's easy to keep a graph on it, actually.
David, so the somber jacket you're going with today, is that because Ryne Sandberg passed and we're just going for something a little less loud?
No, it's just this was to the left of the closet here in my studio where I am. It was this blazer and this jacket. And then I've been doing shows since 7 this morning. And then I'm going to go and do a sporting class. So I'll have to do a different outfit. So then I'll go to the next one. I actually don't know which blazer I'll be wearing to do sporting class, but it won't be this one.
If you're recording sporting class to air at a different day, why would it matter if you're wearing that jacket?
Because I'm wearing this today.
But if that is sporting class airing today? Not that that would even matter.
Exactly. It's not airing today, which is why I can't wear the same blazer and shirt.
So it doesn't look like he's like 3 days a week.
People are tracking David's outfit, Chris. You don't get it.
Wait, it's just continuity. I have this argument with people at Meadowlark all the time, and I don't quite get it. If you're recording something for a different day, shouldn't you wear? So I'll keep during the course of a week, I'll know what 5 outfits I have. So if I'm pre-recording something for a Thursday, I'll wear my Thursday outfit for that pre-record. I'd like to believe I'm not the only one who does that.
You know Friday's outfit right now?
Yes, I actually happen to, because there's 5 days.
Well, so then you're wearing Friday's outfit later and then again on Friday.
That's exactly correct.
I understand the point of continuity, but I don't think that people assume the sporting class is like a live show. Like, we get caught here all the time wearing different outfits because we pre-recorded the day before or whatever. So if you're watching the video, it's like, oh, they changed outfits for a segment, now they're back to the other outfits later. Like, I get that, but sporting class I don't think people think is a live show.
Well, certainly with its budget, there's plenty of post-production. So maybe I could wear yesterday's clothes tomorrow and no one would know the difference. And I could say, hey, it's been taped in 3 different ways. God knows that's possible. Billy, you may be right. I may be able to ignore my entire plan when it comes to PTFO, but certainly for DLS and some of the other shows I do, I think I got to stick to it. But I think you may have convinced me that I can, be a little more free of my foibles.
Yeah, I just want to get out of your head a little bit. Let loose.
I have no idea how we managed to make a second segment on Ryne Sandberg.
It's weird.
Sound even worse.
I saw. Can I say? Like
I thought I did a nice job.
In terms of a eulogy.
I saw a picture that David. I think it someone sent it to me. I think it was like your daughter's wedding or like the day before, like the rehearsal dinner or whatever. And from what I remember, he was wearing like a loud jacket. Yeah. Like it was like a lot. And I was like, man, this guy's trying to steal the shine today. Like this jacket's a lot today.
Trying to steal the shine from my daughter?
Somewhat. It was odd. It was kind of, this is a lot for father of the bride here, I
think, though, when you're going to, don't zoom in on that for the YouTube audience. They're zooming in on my gut, which I don't necessarily appreciate. I should have photoshopped that a little
Don't worry,
thinner.
the jacket's taking all the attention.
Thank God. I love that one. Yeah, so you asked me about Ryne. It's so weird to have been in Cooperstown, and then all of a sudden Ryne Sandberg, we're talking about him. There's 52 living Hall of Famers. If the Otis Saga is the hotel in Cooperstown, and every player has his own wine glass and a case in the Otis Saga, and when a Hall of Famer passes away, they put a new flower every day into the wine glass, and that's how you know who's passed away in the last year. And now it's hard to imagine that that you will have Ryne Sandberg with a flower in his glass. It is too young, and I can only hope that people get their prostates checked, as uncomfortable as it is. You have to get them checked every year, and it's a Fletch moment for sure, but you just have to do it. It's just sad. 65 years old, such a great player, great person. I loved talking to him when he was manager of the Phillies. That's when I really got to know him the best, and it's a disappointing thing to happen so close to the Hall of Fame induction.
David, do you think that Billy is right in being mad about Ichiro's Marlins joke in Cooperstown?
I heard that, Billy, and I want to tell you how I engaged with it sitting there in the heat yesterday, because you hear your name come out and you're just so overwhelmed with gratitude that your name comes out, and then you hear the Marlins joke, and I immediately thought, my God, anything other than that, because that is, you could just tell that people were going to think that that was serious, but it wasn't. We won the World Series in 2003, folks. He was in his prime in 2003. He knew the Marlins, number one. Number two, he faced us. We played against him.
Oh, he was terrible against the Marlins.
I then had it checked. He was like 8 for 40 against us.
Yeah, he was bad.
We had him dead to rights. And believe me, he keeps track of every at-bat. So what I then realized is he wanted to let people know what a funny side he has to go with how important his message was during his speech, which I think is one of the most viral and best speeches I've ever heard a Hall of Famer give. So I had a little PTSD because the Marlins are the butt of people's jokes, though we do have 2 world championships in our franchise history, and we've been to the playoffs recently twice since COVID. So all of this talk that the Marlins are, such a failure, I just don't buy. But I think now people realize that, of course, Ichiro was joking.
For the people who missed it, we have the video right now. Let's go ahead and roll it.
And to the Miami Marlins, I appreciate David Samson and Mike Hill for coming today. Honestly, when you guys called to offer me a contract for 2015, I have never heard of your team.
That's his wife. That's his wife there who they pan to. And that's just funny. It's funny. Of course, he had heard of the team, but I laughed. Is it a surprise that he came to Miami? Did we do a lot of things for him to choose Miami? We did. We gave him a tour of the clubhouse. We gave him a tour of how he would get to the ballpark. Wow, a tour of the
clubhouse.
Wow. No, listen.
Did you charge him or?
Cody, listen. You have to go through. We had to send him our uniform so he could make sure that he had spikes that were made that would match the uniform. We had to get certain workout equipment because he had a way that he would prepare for a game both during spring and the regular season. And so we wanted him very badly. We wanted to make sure he wanted to be with us as a 4th outfielder. We extended his career for 3 years, which he was appreciative of. He got 3,000 hits as a Marlin.
Yeah, Colorado.
He loves the Marlins, and that was a great moment for our franchise. So I don't regret at all either having Ichiro, I'm honored to have had him, or of that comment. It's just nice to be associated with that level of greatness.
David, what was that stretch like when you guys were preparing for him to get the 3,000th hit?
Well,
a nightmare. A nightmare. Going to the park every day and eating stadium food every day just for David and his cronies out there to let him do it in Colorado the day before coming home. Go on, David. Don Mattingly. Screw him.
It happens to not have been Don Mattingly's fault. We put it in the hands of all of us, and it was me, and it was Mike Hill, and it was Don Mattingly, and it was Ichiro. And the conversation was, hey, we're going to play you today, but we could hold off and play you Monday, but we really want you to play today. And it was a Sunday, and Ichiro's view was, listen, I need you to do what you do. I'll do what I do. If I'm in the lineup, take 4 at-bats, thank you. If I'm pinch hitting, thank you. Appreciate the uniform in the locker. But you do your job. And Mattingly said, notwithstanding anything, we would be playing him today. And I said I would rather him get 3,000 hits at home, but I would rather not be looked at as the person who gets in the way of Ichiro getting more at-bats or of Don Mattingly and the GM deciding what the best lineup was that particular day. So listen, Billy, I had to fly to Denver.
Sounds like it was Don Mattingly's fault from that story. I'm going to be perfectly
I
honest.
wasn't
That's
in
what I've
Denver.
gathered.
That's
exactly
nice
what that sounded like to me. And all of a sudden, you're like, you know what? I don't want to be involved.
And
in
a little bit the
decision.
GM. A little bit the GM.
Yeah, come on, David.
I'm going to say that I'm the one responsible for that decision, and I'm glad that he got it.
Buck stops with you.
Touch the ball,
Buck
coach.
stops with me,
Horse
so it's my
hockey.
fault for sure. But it's not that it wasn't an inconvenience to me, because my plan was to be at the game in Florida, obviously, because that's where I lived. But I had to get my way to Denver because there was no way I was going to miss it. And knowing that he was going to get 4 at-bats at $29.99, he was going to get that hit. And he came only a few inches away.
Yeah.
The irony of him hitting a homer for 3,000, I think that he wanted that, and he came so close to getting it.
So I'd like an apology then from you, since it's your fault. I'd like a public apology from you to all Marlins fans right now, please, and thank you.
I'm going to do better, Billy.
Oh.
I'm going to do better because I'm feeling such love from all of you guys and how it all works with you. And when I'm not there and just the way you guys speak about me. So I'm going to apologize for everything, not just for the 3,000th hit, Billy. I'm apologizing for every trade that didn't work out, for every disappointment. And I am not going to ask for any love in return for any memories you may have that are good. I'm going to assume they're all bad. And I'm going to hopefully put this to rest so the national audience can move past it because they don't give a flying rat's pituitary gland. But I impacted your life and Mike Ryan's life, and I guess Stu's and Amin's and everybody else. So I apologize.
What a mensch.
On behalf of the entire fan base, we do not accept you live with that guilt until the day that you die, David Samson.
Wear it.
Who's someone that you went out of your way to like kind of lure like you did with Ichiro that then didn't come? You're like, we wasted a lot of time and effort in this.
Albert Pujols.
Albert Pujols is the number one, will be the number one forever. And I was just with him in Cooperstown. And he was there, and before the Hall of Famers came to the Saturday night party, by the way, the whole weekend is a look at me, Louie, because you're just around Hall of Famers and you're around, you're sitting there talking to Albert Pujols and many other players. I had a great conversation with Mike Hampton and he told me how much he regrets not coming to the Marlins and choosing the Braves. He does not have a ring because he thought the Braves were a better team than the Marlins. And he said, I have lived with that. It's the biggest regret of my career, not signing with Colorado. The biggest regret is not allowing myself to be traded. And he said, David, if you had only FaceTimed me and told me what you told me now, I would have accepted the trade. I said, Mike, we were on the phone together. There was no FaceTime. I said, dude, please come to the Marlins. And you were like, absolutely not. So now Tim Spooneybarger has a ring and not you. And Mike Hampton's wife, who was there, was despondent, as was Mike. But anyway, you're sitting with Albert Pujols, and I was reminding him of the story of the Marlins had him signed. And the effort with his agent, sleeping in his hotel room, which I did, stalking Pujols and his agent overnight just to have Artie Moreno bid $254 million. And I got to say to Albert, because we were enjoying ourselves in Cooperstown, I said, Albert, were you ever going to sign with the Marlins for the $200 million? Shopped it. All right, Albert, I know you shopped it. Thank you.
I just want to point out that Mike Hampton is mad that you didn't invent FaceTime. and then call him with that an invention. Like, hey, it's this new thing. I can see you while I talk to you. If you had done that, maybe I would have said yes. But that does lead me, David, to you said you were hanging out in Cooperstown. What is there to do? Is it just like little side parties beyond the obvious ceremony? Or like, are there bars? Are there fancy restaurants?
Or like
in
diners?
Cooperstown? Yeah,
There's
like,
diners?
Yeah, I feel like it's all, it's like a Roy Rogers out there, right?
Well, it's not a Roy Rogers. It's a one street town, but it's so cool during induction weekend because there's people everywhere. And listen, it's better. I ate a burger off a grill that was outside a restaurant next to Biddy Schramm from League of Their Own, who was signing stuff.
The real one?
The real Biddy Schramm.
Oh, wow.
I got to meet her and
Which
talk
one was
about,
she?
There's no crying in baseball. She was the right fielder.
Okay.
I would
Yo,
appreciate
why's that
it.
funny? I mean, I'm supposed to know all their names?
She was the one with her kid there?
Yes, Stillwell.
Yeah.
And I was with Mike Hill, and she said, by the way, Stillwell is now bigger than you, looking at Mike Hill, and Mike Hill's a big guy. And I guess that you could see it if you scouted. If you're a good scout, you look at Stillwell and say, oh, I can see him as a big guy now with his own kids. I would appreciate it if by next year you would work on hitting the cutoff man. That's a great movie. And she was there doing a signing. And so I bought a picture and had her sign it. And we took a photo. Curtis Pride, the first and only deaf player in Big League Baseball, was there. Mike Tyson was there signing stuff. And then, of course, you have all the players.
Why not? You going to tell him no?
Who said why?
Me, I said why.
Zaz, are you going to be the one that says, hey, Mike, you can't come and sign autographs here?
But Mike Tyson's like, hey, I'm going to Cooperstown?
Yeah.
All
Yes,
right.
can I introduce you to a concept called revenue?
Oh,
revenue is when you put up a shingle and you say, I will be signing from 12:45 to 2 o'clock, and people line up 200 deep to buy something that you're selling because you'll sign only what's bought at the table, and everyone buys stuff, and then you sign it.
But, like, that's a common thing that there will be people outside of baseball who are doing that?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Very much so. You're going now. This year was the first year without Pete Rose holding up a shingle and buying stuff and selling stuff and signing stuff. Obviously, hard to sign from above or below or wherever we are.
The speculation begins. Where did Pete Rose? Juju, put it on the poll.
Don't. David, 2 years ago, Leo Messi made his debut for Inter Miami against Cruz Azul in what was a newly formulated tournament by MLS and Liga MX called the League's Cup, for the League's Cup. And Don Garber last week during MLS All-Star finally provided insight into what MLS's streaming numbers are. It's been a closely guarded secret, and they were bad. The average audience for MLS games is pretty piss poor, especially compared to where they were. This was supposed to grow the league not just in revenue, but the hope was that they would grow audience, and it hasn't done that despite it being lumped in with cell phone carriers and cable carriers. What did you make of those numbers? Why, if Don Garber kept it secret for so long, would he finally use that opportunity to reveal that? Because all it brought was shame and embarrassment.
Well, I don't think it brought shame and embarrassment. I think 120,000 in unique viewers is less than what they would have hoped. I think the amount of revenue that Apple got was less. Therefore, the amount of revenue Messi got was less. We just had Tom Bogert on Nothing Personal today and talked for 25 minutes about MLS and Inter Miami and Messi and a lot of what could have gone wrong, what could have gone better. And I guess I'll sum it up and tell you what we didn't get to talk about today, so I'll mention it now, is that Messi's in a position where as an equity holder, you need to be doing things in order to increase the value of your underlying asset. And when you don't show up to the All-Star game, when you are not selling the game because you're so satisfied with your lot in life, you can't then complain when your upside actually gets decreased. And the biggest mistake MLS made was by getting into bed with Messi, thinking that he would care enough to want to carry them into a different revenue sort of stadium. And he just hasn't done it. And it is what it is. On to the next. There'll be the next Messi. There'll be the next great player. And MLS one day will try to continue to be one of the top 4 leagues in North America. It's just not this day.
What do you make of the upholding the rule to suspend him and Jordi Alba. Like, was that a mistake, you think?
Absolutely not. Explain to me why
Did you
Messi.
see Jorge Mas's response to it?
Draconian. I like when people use that word.
It was pretty crazy.
Listen, Jorge Mas is Jorge Mas, and I love the guy, the underbidder with the Marlins, but great guy. The fact is that he's trying to stir it and make sure that Messi knows that he's got Messi's back, because that will have an impact in Messi and re-signing and playing in the new Mel Reese Stadium. However, why couldn't Messi have just gotten on the plane to Austin, shake some hands, kiss some babies, play like 3 to 5 minutes, and then get the standing ovation? Everybody's happy. You're not suspended. Tom, your friend, said, oh, it was too much, too many games, too tiring. He played 90 minutes for this number of games over this number of days. And I said, that's a bunch of horse hockey.
Horse hockey.
Get on the private plane and just make the appearance. And once he didn't do that, you got to suspend him. And then Garber pretending, I'm so sorry to have done that. Did you see that, Mike?
Yeah.
He said, it's
He should have been. He should have been. No, it's Leo Messi, and you make concessions for Leo. No.
Rules are rules, Michael.
There wasn't a Club World Cup when Leo Messi signed with Inter Miami. And Leo Messi and Inter Miami were the only bright spot for MLS in that Club World Cup. Those were extra fixtures. Leo Messi performed admirably in those games and carried the banner for MLS. And now Leo Messi's got to turn around and do this other new contrived tournament that they've made in the middle of the season that's more games for an aging player that's got his eyes on a real World Cup coming up this summer. I think if there was ever an opportunity for Messi to be like, guys, I've been actually a good partner. I've done all the other MLS All-Star games. I just was the only success story that you had from this Club World Cup. Maybe don't make me hop on a plane to Austin when I got FC Cincinnati because I got more congested games because I had the nerve and the gall to make it to the knockout rounds. I think MLS should have applied proper perspective on this. You can interpret the rules and say, yes, understandably, if you decide to play hooky on the All-Star game, you get suspended. But this is an extraordinary circumstance with you guys making it to the Club World Cup, something that now is new and happens every 4 years, and you're the only team that did anything worth a note there. I think it's kind of BS, and Inter Miami was right to actually invoke Messi and his future in MLS because this is where the commissioner earns his money and he interprets rules. And just because FC Colorado or whatever has a friggin' issue with it doesn't mean you do what's in the worst interest of your league and piss off Leo Messi.
Horse hooky.
You know what happens, Mike, when you start applying rules differently to different people? Mm-hmm. You get anarchy, mayhem. And as you know,
they do that with Inter Miami. That's the reputation. They do that with Inter Miami, and the Club World Cup wasn't around when they invented this rule.
But all Messi had to do was go to Garber and go to MLS sooner and work out a deal so they could have announced something together. Instead, the decision was communicated very, very late, where already there's sponsors flying to town, already there's meet and greets planned. You just got to be smarter about timing. If you really want to cut the deal you're talking about, you're aware of the Club World Cup months ago. Give me a break.
Well, they got to be smarter about timing. They also invented Leagues Cup after they came up with this All-Star rule. And he's like, man, I got more congestion in my fixtures. I got to make up all the games that I missed because of the Club World Cup. And now our league is on pause for a month, and then we're going to have fixture after fixture after fixture to make up those games. I understand where Inter Miami and Messi is coming from, and now I certainly understand the argument, hey, hop on a plane with Jordi Alba and run around for 3 minutes. And his whole deal is, I don't want to hop on a plane. I was the only thing that you had going for your league. You need me.
Boo-hoo. It's not difficult to hop on a private plane and just avoid this whole situation. If you don't want to do that, then that's fine. All you had to do is give them more notice, which they didn't do that either. So they had several paths to do, and they chose the one path that led to suspension. And it was just so ridiculous to me to watch and listen to Jorge Mas defend Messi as though somehow this was trying to threaten Garber. By the way, he's now not going to sign with your league because you suspended him for this game. It's so ridiculous.
Mike, you know what I would have respected if he hit him with the Allen Iverson? What's the fine? Guess what? Here's a blank check. Fill it out.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Suspend me. I'll take it.
Talking about practice?
Like, it's one thing to say, hey, this is why I'm skipping it. But to cry about, why am I being suspended? Hey, man. You a grown man. You knew what the consequences were.
I don't think he cried about it. I think he took it, and the the statement from ownership was pretty strong. I think from Leo Messi's perspective too is like, we have a what in the middle of what? An all-star game? What is like?
Was that not on the schedule?
Speed is doing a skills competition.
Was that not on the schedule?
No.
Yes, it was.
They knew. That's my whole point. It's like, look, Allen Iverson, the story I'm talking about was rookie transition program. When you get drafted in the NBA, all the rookies have to go to rookie transition program. And Allen Iverson didn't go. And they said, well, what's the punishment? He says, well, they fine you, and then you have to come back next year and do it next year. So he gave them a blank check and said, fill it out when my career's over.
I understand
like,
MLS.
Just take the L.
I understand MLS All-Star is calendared, and you know when it is on the schedule. What is not calendared is your team making it, rather unexpectedly, by the way, to the knockout phase of the Club World Cup. Okay. And I think that in that event, the league should alter it. I mean, we're talking about an exhibition, ultimately.
David, I want to talk to you about Bryce Harper and Rob Manfred getting into a shouting match in the clubhouse. Bryce Harper allegedly telling Rob Manfred, if you're going to talk about salary cap,
better not mention salary cap,
or get the F out of our clubhouse. And how did you process that news, David?
Oh, that's victory for the owners. Anytime you can get a Boris-fueled tantrum, you know that you're onto something. Remember the last CBA, please, when it was voted on. All of the Boris guys on the executive council voted against ratifying the CBA, and all the regular team reps who represent the regular guys who Boris wouldn't represent because they're not the superstars, they all voted for the CBA. You want Boris and his guys, because Harper's a Boris guy. Harper was speaking for Boris. Boris trying to hang on to power, which he's completely lost because the executive council's changed, and he's looked at as wholly irrelevant by his own union. Forget by MLB, who barely will, give him the time of day. The fact is, when you hear a Boris guy challenge Rob, he's going to, not only is he going to stand his ground, but the other owner is going to look at Rob and say, step one to getting exactly what we want in this next agreement, because we've got splinters, and we're going to put our fingers into the splinters and spread them like some sort of spelunker. And we will create such a divide that we will then be able to make them think we were only after the salary cap. And then they'll realize that we were after totally different things, all of which we got.
David, what would be the eventual carrot that the rank and file would take in exchange for a salary cap?
Oh, I don't think there is a carrot, a stick. I don't think that there is a bunch of carrots. I don't think the players, even if you shut the game down for a year, I don't think the players would agree to a salary cap. But what I do think is if the owners pretend they want the salary cap badly enough, then they will be able to extract other victories from the players. Maybe the minimum doesn't go up as much. Maybe you've got a situation with appearances or scheduling or some pension, ERISA benefit issues, things that are real, meaningful money, not quality of the stake in the clubhouse, but things that matter where the players would say, oh, no salary cap? Okay, thank you. We'll give in on A through Z. So I think that from a strategy standpoint, what baseball is doing makes perfect sense. And Bryce Harper played right into it, yelling at Rob face to face, nose to nose. I only wish I had been there.
What movie are we reviewing today, David?
I mean, did you watch the Billy Joel documentary?
I did not, but Mike Ryan did. He was telling us about it yesterday.
I've seen the first half, the first part. It's a 2-part series, and I really enjoy it so far.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours, both parts. Part 2 dropped on July 25th. Part 2 is the Christy Brinkley era, plus Wife 3, plus Wife 4. So Wife 1 was part 1. And it's called And So It Goes, which happens to be my favorite Billy Joel song of all time. And I learned so much about him. All of his songs are autobiographical, how much pain he was in, and the things that he wrote about. You guys write funny songs, and Jeremy and all of you. Man, Billy Joel has you beaten. He's writing songs about his wife, who then becomes his ex-wife, and about his manager. He's writing not just Uptown Girl about Christy Brinkley. How about Stiletto about Elizabeth Weber, his wife and manager? Yikes. How about Vienna about his father and the complicated relationship he had? I immediately called my son after watching the documentary thinking that I could do the compare game like, hey, I'm not this guy. But that didn't work.
So where does it? I love rock documentaries. I think The History of the Eagles is the best one of all time. I love Tom Petty's Running Down a Dream. I'm halfway through this one, and it has me feeling like it has a shot to enter that pantheon. Does it fall apart in the second part? He is a pretty private dude, so all of this was illuminating. I was a fan of Billy Joel's music. This documentary is taking it to another level, but I didn't really know much outside of what made headlines, and I'm fascinated by the guy.
And I didn't even remember some of the accidents he had. I didn't know anything about sort of the provenance of all of his songs. And I didn't realize how the Christy Brinkley relationship, how it started, how it ended, why it ended. Because isn't that one of those times that you say, oh my God, if I were married to a supermodel, how could you be unhappy married to a supermodel?
Well,
that's insane. And then you realize that everybody, squats to pee. And so people are generally the same. And going through it all, it is more tragic than you realize, especially because they don't end it with the truth of what is today, which is he's sick and that he's not touring. He canceled all of his tour dates. And we don't know if he'll ever play again.
They don't even mention it?
It's not mentioned. It must have been in the can before this happened. It's not even a postscript.
Yeah, that's disappointing because that would have put his entire career in perspective with a bow at the end of it. Not even like an epilogue.
I expected some sort of something. You know how they do writing at the end of a movie? Yeah. Like now, 20 years later, there are still people trying to make moose eggs. No, there's nothing like that.
The show is called Nothing Personal with David Samson. David, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Stu.
Is this Stugotz' birthday today?
Oh, wow.
Oh, it is.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck.
Chris, yesterday we were having a very spirited conversation about CVS's and Walgreens, and you thought that we couldn't tell the difference between a CVS and a Walgreens. So you took it upon yourself after the show to visit a local CVS and a local Walgreens to take pictures. Guys, we're going to play a new game show. It's called CVS or Walgreens.
Which one is Ryan Clark at?
Ryan Clark's at CVS. That's clearly a CVS.
Now, this is a visual game. We will try our best to describe it for the podcast audience. But check us out on YouTube because we're doing a lot of fun things like CVS or Walgreens.
All right. I just want to be clear for your process for this. You just went to a bunch of different Walgreens and CVS yesterday with your afternoon?
With my daughter.
Nice.
I looked like a private investigator.
There you go.
I got a couple weird looks from employees being like, why is this guy just snapping photos? But here we go. Photo number 1.
Let's see it.
Let's hit it.
Okay, so we're looking kind of upward towards the ceiling. It's a rack, and it's got, what is that, lawn chairs on top of it?
Lawn chairs up top.
Yeah, it's a CVS.
I think it's Walgreens.
That's a CVS. There's carpet.
That's a CVS. It's carpet, and also the tags. CVS has the yellow tags.
Yep.
And also the white one with the red.
You're going to find yellow tags in all the stuff. That someone out there tried to do the yellow tag thing. They all have yellow tags.
Okay.
But what's the guess here? I hear a lot
I
of
think
CVS.
it's
Walgreens. CVS.
And the prevailing theory is carpet, right? The
Okay.
carpet's
carpet.
doing it for
I
us.
see what you guys are doing. That is a CVS.
Yeah.
That's a relief.
I will tell you, don't be too tricked by the carpets here because there's
okay.
just,
Thank you
just
for
give me
that
a little
hint.
hint on the front end.
All right, let's see picture number two.
2.
Okay, these are balloons.
Not showing you
That's
the
a
floor
Walgreens.
this time.
That's sad.
That's an
though.
impossible.
Well, hold on. It's not impossible. There are some context clues. So there's balloons. The balloons are inflated, so they're all the way stuck to the ceiling. They're in a little cage, which I find.
That's a Walgreens trademark, is the balloons that fly up into the ceiling.
For
'cause
those
CVS doesn't have that.
Who are just listening to the podcast, it's a photo of the ceiling with ceiling tiles, and it's balloons inside a little balloon corral.
the balloon
But
cage.
there's no floor, there's no shelving. There's
We can
some
kind of see the
greetings
end
cards.
caps.
Well,
We can
guys,
see an end cap.
what I learned doing this, there's a lot of just things that
Branding.
say CVS and Wal. Like
Lot
it's
of
hard
branding.
to find
Yeah.
photos that don't say it.
I'm
So-
with you. This is difficult, and this is a very difficult photo, but I'm going to go Walgreens.
I'm going to go Walgreens as well.
I'm going to go Walgreens.
It is a Walgreens.
Yeah, 2 for 2. I know my pharmacies.
All right, this is going all right so far. We got
Okay.
a couple more here.
Here
Let's
we
go to
go.
the next one. All right, here we
come
have
on.
a cereal aisle.
Well, hold on. Let me get up and look at this.
It looks like to the right there's a cooler. I see yellow tags.
I'm going to go Walgreens.
Oh, look at him,
here.
He's gotten up. He's looking at. He's really close to the monitor. He's eyeballing it.
All right.
That's a Walgreens, baby.
People are.
That's a CVS.
I'm going Walgreens.
That's a Walgreens.
That's a CVS.
We have the first time that we don't have consensus.
That's
Lots
a
of
CVS.
cereal.
That is
It's a Walgreens.
a CVS.
Oh, no way!
There's also carpeting at the end of that faux wooden floor.
Damn it, Billy. I was just like, I literally did this one because I'm like, look, this doesn't have carpet. I'm going to trick him with this one. So I tricked everyone but Billy. Let's move on to the next one.
all right.
Stop looking at the floor.
2 for 3. It's
That's
a Walgreens.
door.
That's a
This
Walgreens.
is just a photo of a door.
It's a door.
But that's a Walgreens
That's
But
some
door.
there's-
local high school, like Western, like Wildcat, like merch on the left right there.
There's also
Western high school
umbrellas.
shirts?
It's like an umbrella stand, and we can see some Maylocks and some other things on
and
the
the
side.
doorway to the back of the store.
It's an
that
employee-only
linoleum?
door. Yes, this is definitely a Walgreens.
That is a Walgreens.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more here that I think might trick you. All right, let's do the last photo here. Here it is. Remember, don't get tricked by the floor. The floor, we're playing mind games here.
This looks like a Target.
It's the makeup section of the store. They all have them.
Is this a Navarro?
Is that the Walgreens logo right there? So it's a makeup section, and it's like kind of down the aisle, but above it you can see something
It
hanging.
says
there.
L'Oreal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, not above that.
I didn't see that part. Don't look at that.
All right.
Just guess.
Okay, it's a Walgreens.
Is that a Walgreens logo?
There's yellow tags too, Amin.
Yeah, yellow tags.
it's a Walgreens.
Walgreens.
Zaz has said Walgreens for
I'll say
everything.
CVS.
It's a Walgreens.
I knew it. I knew it.
And that was
CVS or Walgreens.
Got you on that one with the weird floor.
Yeah, you did. And you know, now that I think about it, that floor, while not carpet, is not what you find in a Walgreens. Walgreens has that I don't know how
Like
to describe
middle
it.
school floor.
Yes, it's just continuous. There's no tiles in that, right?
Let's pull back the curtain. Before the last one, he turned his mic off real quick, and he's like, he said, "Someone please, dear God, say CVS." In his,
I couldn't have everyone guess
in his
Walgreens.
best Jeb Bush, please clap voice.
You guys can clap now.
We should play that because earlier we played the Deion Sanders "Please Clap," and apparently Jeb Bush set this up, Zaz, because I didn't know.
Yeah,
about
I mean, when Deion told everyone they could clap after he's cancer-free, it reminded me of the very end of Jeb Bush's political career.
But send a signal that we're prepared to act in the national security interests of this country to get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
It's unbelievable. I can't get enough of that clip. It's so good. Every time I come across it, it's so good.
It's the way he tilts his head. Guys, what are you doing?
He's like so pathetic. Please clap.
It's really funny what used to end political careers back
Right?
in the day.
That's crazy. This guy fumbled the bag big time, right? Your dad was the president?
I think he did all right.
Dude, he had no answer.
Your
He
dad-
had no answer for the type of dude he was facing. It was
saying-
like a southpaw.
Your dad was the president. Your brother was the president. And you're bilingual, and you're the governor of Florida. Like, come on,
He
man.
finally got his at bat, and then he was against a submarine pitcher. He's just like, I've never hit against one of these.
The ball's coming from where?
Please.
We're not
clap.
doing shame anymore.
You can clap now.
Le Batard Show with Stugotz. We've stolen the exclamation point officially from Get Up. It's put after the word show.
So this is Act 1, Scene 2 of Macbeth. The stage instructions are: a camp near Fours. Alarm within. Enter Duncan, Malcolm, Donalbain, Lennox with attendants, meeting a bleeding sergeant.
I don't even know what that means.
Jessica, you have played the role.
All right, so wait, can we set the scene? Thank you, Mike. Can we set the scene, Mike, from high school? Can you give Chris Cody his motivation on, because he didn't even understand what Whittingham.
Am I happy?
Like, what,
Am I like distressed?
Okay. In what condition does the distressed? Okay, very good. Good confidence there. Let's have the music that we need, Shakespearean music, and let's see if we can find our note here.
What bloody man is that? He can report, as seemeth by his plight of the revolt, the new estate.
This is the sergeant, who like a good and hardy soldier fought gainst my captivity. Hail, brave friend! Say to the king the knowledge of the broil, as thou didst leave it.
So true.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that. The multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him from the western isles. Of kerns and Gallowes glasses is supplied, and fortune of his damned quarrel smiling. Showed like a rebel's whore. Showed like a rebel's whore. But all's too weak for brave Macbeth. Well, he deserves that name. Disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution.
What? Yes.
Like Valuor's minion carved out his passage till he faced the slave.
I feel your distress. I really do.
Which ne'er shook hands nor bade farewell to him till he uniseamed him from the nave
Rolling. Don't let them deter you.
to the chaps and fixed his head upon our battlements.
O valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
As whence the sun's gins his reflection.
You missed your cue.
Shipwrecking storms and direful thunders break. So from that spring whence comfort seemed to come.
Wait a minute. There wasn't a question mark there.
Discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, Mark, no sooner justice had with valor armed.
Oh, you think you're done?
Humbled! These skipping kerns to trust their heels.
Not compelled. We need compelling.
But the Norwegian lord surveying vantage.
Which is it?
Furbished arms.
Vintage or vantage?
And new supplies of men.
All right, we've
begin a fresh assault.
We've tested his endurance.
Not this. Our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
And scene.
You almost made it to the finish line. You started leaking confidence. It was not unlike the race outside in Freedom. You were very confident for a moment, and then you fell at the finish line. But
showed his long track.
Excellent, Chris. Excellent.
Vintage, vantage.
Coupled, compelled.
Billy Dutch Barbados, Carnival.
So welcome back, Billy, and I don't know where this particular tension is going to end up. Welcome back. And I also want to get to Mike Ryan. He does not agree with you on Hard Knocks, Chris. He doesn't.
Oh, trust me. We had a whole text exchange last night. I almost drove to his house to fight him.
Yeah, you guys have very wildly disparate opinions on the Oakland Raiders and Hard Knocks. But first, Billy, welcome back. How was your honeymoon?
It was good. Thank you for asking.
Oh, he's tightened up his game now that he's refreshed. Okay, things are
it's
just
so hot today, Dan. I don't know what's going on with the air, but luckily I have this little fan that I bought before a hurricane that I have plugged into my phone, so like it's keeping me nice and cool.
I'm so jealous.
You guys should get these. These things are awesome. Look at it, Dan. You see this thing? Look at this.
Can you please tell me about all the awkward things that happened to you? Did anything weird happen to you in Barbados? Like what kind of, just give me some awkward Billy on his honeymoon stuff. Is there anything that...
The non-awkward would be a much shorter story.
Yeah, I wonder...
This is Juju. He's got a new show.
Welcome back. The Alley Oop has returned.
How many damn jerseys do you have?
It's about basketball, hoops, and hoopers.
I'm trying to get us away from calling him the Joker because the other nickname on his page is Big Honey. And I just think Big Honey is a way better nickname.
Now, Don Staley and them girls back at it again. And she gonna pull up Prada down, Chanel, Gucci, Louis. It don't even matter. Them Auburn Tigers, bro. Them boys 35 years old each player. None of them brothers got a hairline amongst any of them.
But maybe you're wondering, where can I see it or hear it? Tell us, Juju.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/oddballhoops. Do you need me to point at some visual explanations? Well, here you go.
What I started the show with was we have so much to get to, and then Chris grabbed the steering wheel and went right into Bryce Harper. But one of the things I do want to talk about at some point is the Christian Wilkins situation in Vegas, which I find fascinating. Fascinating, right? Every time I get a little bit more information, I feel a little bit more confused than I was before. If you don't know, Christian Wilkins, defensive end, right?
Tackle.
During games. For the Raiders, apparently was released because of something. He did something that made another player uncomfortable. And then Adam Schefter goes on Pat
we don't
McAfee.
know that. It was something that may have contributed to the release.
Right.
Is what they're saying.
And then Schefter goes on McAfee, and he reveals what the act was that made the player uncomfortable, and it was a kiss on top of his head. Apparently Wilkins kissed
a quote-unquote playful kiss.
A playful kiss on top of his head. And the internet went crazy, which is, again, fascinating to me when people kind of seize on this, because what they do is they find all the instances of, here's the smoking gun we should have known, including one time he did the splits at the national championship game.
Well, there was also that time during the CFP where he put his fingers and checked the oil.
Yeah,
Check the oil.
like us down here, because we watched him play for 5 years, the first 5 years of his career. We'd known about these incidents. That Clemson video that is going around the internet now, we certainly knew about it. There's another clip where him and Josh Allen had been rivals every year, playing against each other twice a season.
Grabbed his hog, right?
And there's this one clip where it kind of looks like that, and Josh Allen gets really mad. Now, mind you, on the bottom of piles in the NFL, things happen, man.
Anything goes.
Spitting, biting, pinching. But
oil checks.
But just in broad daylight like that, Christian Wilkins was caught a couple times, And we were kind of aware of this stuff because he was here and we covered him for 5 years. And now for the first time, you got other people who are kind of, oh my God, what is that, And
I think that's the big thing is that, man, a lot of that stuff that people are pointing to, I'm like, that's not as rare as you think it is, right? As far as, again, the grabbing and the poking. That's not rare.
Aside of all that poking and stuff, he was on the opposite end of that. Thought of as a great locker room guy down here.
Fun guy.
Like a good teammate, all the players tend to like that. That was his perception down here. Team, when we lost him, it wasn't just they lost a player. It was he was the leader of that defense. So it's a little surprising.
Do you guys think this is the end of this story? Because the way that it was kind of put out there it was described as a very weird situation by a number of people who went out of their way to not clarify anything. And then yesterday we just got the reporting from Adam that was it was a playful kiss on the forehead. It's that seems not to the same level of what was being reported before in the cover. Not that I'm questioning the reporting. It just seems like there may be more to come from this situation.
I think there's a lot more to come. Florio pushed right back at what Schefter said.
Oh,
saying, saying he had not heard that. He heard something completely different, which means there are several of these stories going around.
It did make me think back to when the Dolphins made the decision to move on from him. It seemed weird at the time because this was a young man that was entering his prime and was good on the field at that time and was reportedly
great that season,
well
too.
liked, and it does give you some more.
But with him,
context,
there was money at
potentially.
play too. Like he was going to get paid, and that was also coming up around the Tua time where you have to make contract decisions money-wise.
It also just feels like whatever the answer is, if it's Florio's side, if it's Schefter's side, this is not the first time it's happened, right? Like this has been kind of a snowball effect of his time with the Raiders. Hey, this is okay, we'll pass that up. Okay, that was kind of weird. What was this about? So now it's just finally coming to a head where we don't know the player that it happened to. I feel like we would have known if it was a high-profile person, right? It feels like maybe it's somebody that is not as high-profile and just got fed up with it.
High-profile person may not want it to come out because you don't want to then be asked about, hey, what did it feel like when Christian Wilkins kissed you? Like,
we're dancing around it, right? Like there is in locker rooms still a level of homophobia that in common society isn't quite as present. And what I mean by that, first of all, I'm not saying that Christian Wilkins is gay or whatever.
I just want to also be very clear that we're not conflating the two things.
Right. No, but I'm saying like homophobia in this sense.
Well, also in a standard workplace, you can't just go up and kiss someone on the head and like face no consequences.
I don't know if that stuff man, that's not an average workplace stuff that goes on.
No, I know, but I'm saying like you're saying like, oh well, there's just homophobic.
No.
Try doing that here. There's consequences also.
Let me explain what I mean by that. Like homophobia in the sense that like guy kisses another guy on top of the head. Ew, man, what you doing all that gay shit for? That's what I'm talking about. Like it's not that Christian Wilkins is gay, right? Or anything has happened of that nature. It's things that are a little on the awkward side. Guys respond very vehemently with, why are you doing all that gay shit, right? And very quickly turns into, I don't know about him. He's weird. Weird is a synonym, many cases, a euphemism for, I think there's something a little off with, they're doing all that language. And again, it's not that he is or he isn't, or even that if he is, that there's anything wrong with that. It's just that in locker rooms, sometimes it's still, this is like the last frontier, like Dan calls it. Like, it still isn't 2025 in locker rooms.
I mean, but the Raiders also is where Carl Nassib played, who was one of the first openly gay players. So I wouldn't come out and just say, hey, the Raiders are homophobic. That's
not what I'm
why
saying.
Christian Wilkins is not on the team anymore.
But there's a difference between a guy is gay and a guy, quote unquote, acts gay.
I mean, those are the same thing in that locker room, aren't they?
Not exactly.
No. It's an invasion of personal space. It's making other people feel uncomfortable. You can do that whether you're straight or gay.
Yes. And that's what, but the roots of that in particular is a homophobia, right? It's a homophobia of like, hey, if I'm touched in that way, it has a meaning to it. It's not that it's like
for some.
Other people
just like get the hell away from me.
Yeah, I don't want to paint with a broad brush. I'm just saying like that feeling, which again, if you went to high school in the 90s or in the early 2000s, that was rampant. All of us were like, oh, you see how he like patted him on the butt, whatever. Like that was a thing. And I know now I sound like a dinosaur. And everyone's like, oh, I mean, I'm just saying to you that culture still exists in some areas, and one of those areas is in sports locker rooms, in professional sports.
Yeah, I'm of the belief that there are several gay players in the league.
For sure.
Mostly closeted, but also teammates will tell you when they retire, they've known of other guys. I think this goes beyond that, even though
of course mostly closeted, by the way. Isn't there only one openly gay player?
Right. But even like behind the locker room doors, some guys, it may be known inside of a locker room.
What he's talking about is like that everyone on the team knows the dude is gay.
We just don't know.
But like the public doesn't know because they don't feel any. It's like Billy Kennedy, the NBA ref. Like everybody in the NBA knew Billy Kennedy was
known
gay.
Thing before we knew,
but it wasn't a public thing that that fans knew or the media, I think, knew.
Right, and I think that there is a difference, and I do think that we walk back the conflation of the two things. I think that very clearly something happened in that locker room, and it may be what Adam reported on. I
would guess multiple things.
I think it would probably be more to it than that, considering his standing on that team, and ultimately the team can decide this person makes us really uncomfortable.
And the month before, we voided the remainder of his guaranteed money. Give me a reason to get rid of this guy.
We when I worked for the Suns, we had a guy that we were going to sign, and there were concerns about him being awkward in the locker room, and we were worried about. It was like we were worried what some of our players, how they would react to him doing that stuff in the locker room, and we ended up signing the guy, and he was a different kind of guy. But it never manifested in the way we did. But again, a lot of times, the organization sometimes becomes overly, I don't want to say protective, that's the wrong word, but projects a little too much on, this guy's going to hate how this guy acts and we got to do something about it. When a lot of times that stuff either doesn't happen, or if it does happen, gets handled behind closed doors in the locker room. Like those guys typically are very upfront and confront one another about, hey, I don't like it when you do this. And unless the other guy is just a real asshole, like, I'm going to do it every single day or whatever, it usually gets resolved. That's why I'm curious, as when you say it's multiple things, I got to assume that when they talk to Christian Wilkins, he's like, shit, I mean, my employment is number one. Me being a locker room funny guy has to come secondary to a paycheck, right?
I would assume.
Or do you think everyone was passive aggressive and like, I hate it when he does that shit, but never saying anything to him, and then one day they let him go?
That could be it. Yeah.
Feels like a critical mass situation when you see what's out there already, see the social media sleuthing that's already been done, when you see things that he's done in plain sight, as you mentioned, not at the bottom of a pile.
Yeah.
And with what Mike Florio said, I imagine we are going to be hearing more about this because it does lead to more questions. If it was just this invasion of personal space, this kiss on the forehead, that doesn't necessarily add up when you consider the money this guy's already made in the league, the expectations for him, when he lines up for his team. There's more to it, it would seem.
Let me pull back the curtain. Is it going to be awkward tomorrow? I think Izzy's in tomorrow, right? Is Izzy in tomorrow? Is it awkward if we ask Izzy about this, or is that like
you should definitely ask him?
Are we doing the thing again, where it's like the gay representative?
No, we did it without him today. So
yeah, there you go. Oh, so there you go. Mm-hmm. That's what covers us.
Mm-hmm. That's why he's not here.
There you go. We sent Izzy home today so we could talk about this. And
perhaps all wrong. We'll find out.
I don't think you lead it with, Izzy, you're gay. Let me ask you this.
He's
that's
what?
not the way to do that.
That was exactly how I was going to open, too.
I think, is it, am I off base in thinking that it's quite possible Christian Wilkins' career is in big trouble?
Well, I mean, yeah, when you get released for something that's other than performance, automatically you have to get worried. Anybody, I think, if you lose your job, not because, he wasn't so good at it, but like, this guy was good at his job and he got fired, regardless of us knowing what the reason is or not, you have to worry. It's like, is there going to be like a rumor mill that prevents me from getting a job somewhere else?
That's what I think, yeah. I think you now have a reputation, and it's two things. It's both them, by the way. The first thing is, okay, there's a reputation now that the team is putting out there that you don't work hard, you don't care about rehabbing and getting out on the field. And then the second part is, does weird things in the locker room. Like, yeah, I think there's going to be a major reputation now that he has around the league.
If it's just that he doesn't work hard and he wasn't taking rehab seriously and it was just one playful kiss, I think that, you take a chance on him, especially if it's at a discounted rate, right? Like we were walking around today talking to Big Mac, who does.
What do you say?
Me and Big Mac were talking like, we can get Christian Wilkins back at a discount, get some depth. I don't know about this situation. I feel like you got to do it if you can. Now, if you're like a real NFL team and not me and Big Mac, you have more information than me and Big Mac have because you have your people kind of like figuring out what's going on, and you talk to their people, and they'll know exactly what's happening here, not what the reports are. So if people don't go after him, I would assume that's an indication of there's a lot more going on here than we know, besides just he doesn't work hard or he doesn't, take rehab seriously. Because there's all kinds of players that don't take rehab seriously and they get signed anyways.
But not a lot of players who don't take rehab seriously enough that the team says, yeah, we're going to void the rest of your guarantees.
Well, I mean, like, also, if you give a professional organization in any realm, not just sports, here's an option to not pay this person a lot of money. They're going to look for that. Like any organization in any
Because they didn't even
field.
cut him over it. Like they still kept him on the team.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? That money, we have a way to keep you and not give you that money. So we're going to take that option here.
When you take a look at all the guys that have been cut for things off the field, right? They usually kind of get a second chance. Depending on what the crime is, depending on what the offense is, you're usually getting a second or third chance.
Actual
And
crimes
this is where
crazy
that
chances.
league gets weird, right? Because you would think that letting someone who may be a little bit weird into your locker room,
but not criminal,
is a lot easier than a guy who beats up women.
But here's the reason why, right? The reason why is that they're not balancing or weighing those quote unquote offenses against each other, right? What they're weighing is, does the locker room care?
Yep.
And that's the sad part. Like, it's for a lot of guys, yeah, that guy had that thing that happened to him, but wrong place, wrong time, whatever. As opposed to, he's weird in the locker room. That might be an issue.
It's kind of the same situation, but a little different with Jonathan Martin and Richie Incognito, right? Like, Richie went on to play again after the Bullygate. Jonathan Martin never played again.
Right. Because
it was like, what? Like,
because the offense that the locker room could not abide by was this dude basically
not being tough enough.
Yeah, and
snitching on
and making a case out of it.
But it's also like, unfortunately, how good is this player?
That's
are they good enough? Because
but this is a good player.
But is he good enough?
That's what I'm saying. That whether or not he's good enough and whether or not he bounces back from this injury could dictate whether or not locker rooms take him back. This isn't an injury thing, but like you saw with Tyreek Hill a couple of weeks ago, where at the end of last year he's like, "Yeah, I'm out of here." And then if I were to guess, he's probably going to be a team captain this year, right? So, this guy's like, I don't believe in this team. I'm out of here. And then, he's going to have to prove it to us. But there's probably going to be a C on his chest when the games are happening because he's good enough for them to just kind of look past some of this stuff.
I'll tell you, man.
And all the other stuff that he's done.
I'll tell you, if Tyreek Hill is a captain again this year, that's some soft shit.
I don't think he's going to be?
I actually think they won't.
I hope they don't.
That narrative is just out there of this being a soft organization. I'm with you, Billy. But I just think if you're McDaniel, you have to know.
If he's a real captain, he says, "I'm not a captain."
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. That's how you know he's the captain, is by saying, "I don't want this C to be a captain." Yeah.
So you're essentially saying he's going to be a captain no matter what. If he has the C, he's a captain, and if he does not have the C, maybe it was him saying, "I don't need to be a captain." Hence, that actually makes me a captain.
Correct.
So if he has the C, he actually did the thing where he said, "I'm not a captain," and then they were like, "Well, actually,
no. You're doing like some inception shit.
Turn down the C.
Yeah. He has the C, and it's just confirmation that he told his teammates, "Hey, I'm not actually a captain." And then they looked at each other, hey,
you're our captain.
That's some real captain shit right there.
Well, that's the other thing is that the organization can or cannot put a C on his jersey. But the locker room really decides who they follow and who they don't. So they can say, McDaniel could say, I'm not giving him a C. You don't get to wear a C after what you did to us last year. But he walks in that locker room, and everyone's following Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill looks at him and says, hey, look to me. I'm the captain now.
There could be a middle ground. Like, you get the C, but we reset the star count. You're not going to be a legacy captain. You're back at the base level.
Could you imagine if in sports they actually use scarlet letters?
Somali Pirates.
Like there's a red A for adulterer for everyone who's an adulterer on all of their uniforms. I feel like cheating would go way down in professional sports, not because of loyalty to your spouse, just because you don't want that red A on your jersey.
I mean, it did stop Hester Prynne. She still, did it.
Guys like patches on their jerseys, man. We've established that. They like the patches. Yeah. A red A,
you think some people take that red A with pride?
Yeah, you put that red A, you let it open for business.
Didn't Travis Hunter have a D for dog? I'm pretty sure at Colorado,
they
had
different ones.
They had patches, man.
Is it like helmet stickers? Like you get multiple A's?
Is Hawk in this week? Is he in on?
Not this week.
Ah, shit! I would have asked him. How do you feel about having all those patches on? Not an A for Hawk, but like all the other patches. The D for dog, right? God, I'm sinking.
So I think what we learned though is Tyreek Hill, no matter what, is a captain this year. Interesting.
Captain Phillips.
You're sinking?
Yeah.
I got a lifesaver.
Listen up. Time to think fast. Is this a real or fake podcast?
Oh, I've never played this game before.
That's right.
Then you'll play today. You're the contestant.
Wow.
Amin.
Yes. Oh, you're not going to do the whole pomp and circumstance? Yeah, what do we got? What's your name? Hey, I'm Amin. I'm from Tempe, Arizona.
Clearly, you never played.
Oh,
Lay out.
Never.
If we have a brand new contestant today, Amin El Hassan from Arizona.
Hey!
Happy to be here, guys.
Amin is Tough Luck with Phil Hellmuth, a real or fake podcast.
That's the poker player, right? Okay, so thumbs up. I know who that is. Tough Luck. No, I don't think that is enough of a poker pun, so I'm going to say fake.
Zaz, you want to take a stab at it?
I think Amin's reasoning is spot on there.
Anybody else want to venture a guess?
Doesn't feel real to me.
Yeah.
It is a fake podcast.
Yeah.
Knew it.
You should somebody guess CBS.
There was a carpet on this one.
The Mayor's Office with Sean Casey.
There's your pun.
God, yeah, that's a strong pun. I'm going to say real.
Yeah, I'm going real too.
I'll go fake because it sounds too real.
Fake because it's Fred Hoiberg's.
It is a real podcast.
Yeah, two for two.
Yep.
White Noise with Derek White.
Derek White of the Boston Celtics having a podcast called White Noise. I'm going to say no. Because white noise sounds derogatory. It means it's just kind of like sound in the background. I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I'm going no as well because it sounds like what he's saying is like nonsense.
Yes.
It's just noise.
That's white noise.
Yeah.
Fake.
It is a brand new podcast announced yesterday by Derek White himself.
Come on.
Whoa!
You got to do better than that.
Keep It Moving with Terrence Ross.
I know a little bit about Terrence Ross. I think this is exactly the kind of podcast title he would have. I'm going to say it's real.
Okay, I'm going no because there's no way Terrence Ross has a podcast.
There's a lot of podcasts out there, pal.
I know.
Any other guesses? Keep It Moving with Terrence Ross. We made it up.
Ah, damn. Sorry, Terrence.
What a game.
And finally, you didn't hear it from me with Juliana Rancic.
Who's Juliana Rancic?
I don't know that fool.
Juliana Rancic.
Is she still with Bill?
I think she's still with Bill.
Nice.
Bill Rancic?
She was like the main anchor for E! Entertainment.
Yeah, formerly Juliana DePandy.
Oh, yeah.
Still don't know that fool.
Yeah, you know. If you were to see Juliana, you know Juliana.
You didn't hear from me.
R.I.P. News.
Yeah.
I'm going to say real.
You didn't hear it from me with Juliana Rancic.
Real.
Zaz, is that real or fake?
I think the name of the podcast and the person are both fake.
Gossip is a very gossipy kind of title for a gossipy kind of show from a gossipy kind of network host.
I can assure you she is a real person, but that is a fake podcast.
Oh, man. I'm not as good at this as I thought I was.
You had confidence about Terrence Ross.
I did, man.
Keep It Moving. It's a good fake podcast name.
Yeah, man. I feel like that's something Terrence Ross would say. Keep it moving. That's how he ends the segment.
That's the transition point.
Yeah. Keep it moving.
I like to think. Sad. What's Juliana up to?
I don't know. Not podcasting. Well, maybe she does have a podcast.
Employment?
Everybody has a podcast. Shout out to Derek White for giving me a truly unbelievable, actual, real podcast.
You know what, man? Some of these podcast names, the puns, they got to go, man. You don't have to have a pun. That's why I like Club 520. Not a pun. It's not a pun. I mean, I guess they're from Indianapolis. That's why, but
punny,
little punny, but not punny like it's not like you're out of your teague or that would be a punny name, right? Zaz, keep it moving. What's this new Grock trend you speak of?
Oh, okay. So you guys see this? I'm not good with the social media trends and whatnot. You know, like eating Tide Pods and shit like that. I don't do that kind of stuff.
Was that 7 years ago?
He's not good at it. Just
I'm
told
not
you.
good. I'm just learning.
It's just getting around to his algo. Obviously, you know his algo,
We're gonna
right?
do the Black Beatles challenge next.
Oh shit, we should do that.
So I don't know what this is though, but I keep seeing it pop up on Twitter where I guess again, I don't really know. Grock at Grock That's like you ask it questions and it answers things for you.
It's Twitter's AI.
Okay, I've never used that before. So clearly, as it may sound. And so there's apparently this new trend, I think. Have you guys seen it on Twitter? Where you go like, hey, Grock, who is the most famous person to visit my Twitter profile? People are doing that, and then Grock tells you, like, the person with the most followers who has actually clicked on and viewed your Twitter profile. You haven't seen this, Amin?
No.
I've seen it. Have
you tried it?
I haven't tried it, but actually the guy from Naked City Pizza in Vegas, who's a big fan of the show, our boy, he had done it, and it said that Josh Allen visited his page. And I was like, damn,
nice.
Okay,
That's
hold
pretty
on
good.
a second.
I'm
And then
doing
I
mine
forgot
right
about
now.
All right, Chris,
do it.
Let's
Does Grock like respond right away, or does he take a little bit of time?
I don't know how Grock
I think
works.
he's very instantaneous, but I don't know if it takes them a little bit to kind of
Also,
read through stuff.
You're assuming his pronouns.
Is Grock like Gemini? Because Gemini is awful.
What is the Gemini one?
I don't know.
Gemini's
That's cool.
Google.
Who is that?
So Gemini, I mean, Men's Health had an article that came out yesterday about Luka Doncic and how he's in much better shape or whatever. And in it was an excerpt that had been removed because they found out that the fact in it was incorrect. And the fact was about Luka Doncic's vertical leap.
I just did it. I just got the response.
Uh-huh.
Dan Le Batard.
Wow, okay.
But this is all a scam.
But,
Did you read? Do you read this full
Go
thing?
on. Read the whole thing.
It says, based on mutual followers and your role in the Le Batard show, the most famous person likely to have visited your profile is Dan Le Batard himself, sports media icon with massive reach.
Whoa.
But then this sentence at the end, which kind of undercuts all of this. Profile visits are private, so this is an educated guess.
Yeah.
Wow. This is the worst educated guess possible.
Well, Grock thinks Dan's a legend.
All right, I'm going to do
an
mine.
icon.
I'm going to do mine.
Yeah, let's see.
I
think Dan's back on Twitter.
It's going to say Dan for everybody. You got to say, not Dan Le Batard.
I'm going to write who's the second most famous person.
There you go. And it's going to be like Dominique Foxworth.
On site with him still.
At Upset Bird.
Oh, that would be awful. If Greg Cody is the second most
At
famous.
Darth Amin.
Oh, man. It's people who are not on the show. That's what I want to know, right? Who you know what mine would be, right? You guys know what mine would be, right?
All right, let's see what this fool says.
I mean, Durant?
Michael Jordan. Come on.
Oh, that's right. You're
Gonna be at your funeral.
This is so stupid. Based on mutual engagement and your show's prominence, the second most famous person likely to visit your profile, John Stugotz Wiener. This is just, I'm being
So
trolled.
why are people doing this?
Because most people don't know famous people. That's why. We're kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
We're kind of a big deal. It's hard for Grock to wow, look at all these famous people follow us.
I mean, this Grock is taking his time. Can you hurry the hell up?
Every time I say Grock, I hear Gronk.
Same.
Which then makes me think of Gronk reading that passage, like responding based on.
So I don't really know, but bro,
an educated guess.
His Twitter has to be a nightmare since Grock was launched, right? Like, how many people accidentally tag him when they're asking these dumb questions?
Also, you know, imagine how irritating it must be. You have a name called Gronkowski. They call you Gronk. You feel like this is pretty unique. There are not too many people in the world with this name. And now there's a baby Gronk and there's a Grock and like, what? Like, this was my corner of the universe.
There's
What?
also like 6 brothers that all go by it, so it's confusing.
Yeah. Well, they weren't going to be famous without him.
Oh.
Right? Well, no. I mean, come on.
I don't know. It's a little bit annoying. Oh, here we go. Let's see.
What do we got?
What does this fool say? Profile visits on X are private, so exact data isn't available. Based on your mutual followers ranked by engagements, the most famous is likely Dan Le Batard via Le Batard Show.
This is what you're supposed to ask. Who doesn't follow me?
Wait.
Who is the most
Okay. I just
famous?
said who's the third person, so
Wait.
I'm going to keep going down this.
Did it think that Dan was still an icon?
A renowned sports podcaster with widespread influence.
He is. That is true.
That's a couple ticks down from what it wrote
I love how it
to
changes
Chris.
a little bit.
Sports
And now
podcaster, not journalist.
I'm
none of
deleting the
that.
question now because I'm embarrassed that I'm participating
So,
in this.
ask the question: who is the most famous person who's visited my profile who does not already follow?
I'll do it
me?
after most famous person.
Third most famous is going to be Mina Kimes or someone like that.
Russia probably has all my shit now.
Exactly.
I've had it for a while, Zach. Don't worry.
No, Putin's like, we got him finally.
He fell into the Grock trap.
And now we're all communist. Remember when that was the fear? Oh, what a time.
I like the idea of you thinking, and not that you do, but like the person out there.
I know
that's
you're
like,
not talking to me.
No, the person that's out there thinking, you know what? China's not going to get my information. I can stop them if I want to.
Ted Kaczynski. That's how you stop him.
I'd never downloaded TikTok.
Really?
So, yeah, China definitely doesn't have me.
I've never used TikTok.
That's for sure.
TikTok.
I get a
all day,
scam
baby.
likely call every 5 minutes, but I'm somehow scared of
Have
it.
you ever
Russian
answered it?
stuff. You're good.
Have you ever answered it?
No.
You're
If
safe.
you do, you say hello.
Yeah, don't let them know it's you.
That's your scam likely voice.
Okay, is Chris Cody there? Oh no. See ya.
Chris, who's the third most famous person
It's
to follow?
still
It's
thinking.
still thinking?
Yeah.
Come on, Grock. Lazy ass.
It's just people trolling me saying, "I hope it's your dad."
Well, what?
All right, here we go.
You know, responding?
Wow.
Mike Ryan?
Ryan Ruiz.
Wow.
What does it say?
Mike.
What does it
That
say?
is pathetic.
Says the third most famous person likely to visit your profile is Mike Ryan Ruiz, executive producer of the Dan Le Batard Show.
That's not true. That's
Old
not
news.
accurate. Come on, Grock.
How about you
should
write
correct
Grock
it.
back?
Hey,
I'm that guy.
I'm the captain now.
Look at me.
It's a movie with Tom Hanks.
Yes.
I watched that movie for the first time Sunday night. Honest to God, two nights ago.
After your date night with yourself?
Isn't that the lamest
Solo
bachelor
date night.
Isn't
That
that,
was
the
nice, though.
lamest thing?
I
you've
saw
ever
you.
done?
What was that? No
very
fashion?
Went
Strange
home.
movie to jerk off to.
Went home,
Isn't
took
that
a
the
shit.
lame? I was a bachelor for the first day on Sunday. I'm a bachelor this entire week. My kids are gone. My wife is gone. I dropped them off in Port of Miami on Sunday morning. And Sunday night, my very first night alone, I watched Captain Phillips. That's that's loser shit right there. Yeah, it's a good movie. I wouldn't watch it again. It's a good movie though.
Good movie.
I thought it was a good movie. I know I've only watched it once, so
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it
that's
again.
super rewatchable.
Nope.
A lot of those Tom Hanks movies are, right? Have you watched Captain
Forrest
Sully or
Gump is
whatever?
rewatchable. It's actually
I'm
very
talking about
high on rewatchable.
His 21st century movies. Sully, watched it once. It's all right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right? The one where he's Road to Perdition.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch that again.
Good movie.
I don't need to watch it again. It
Watch
was
once.
a good movie.
It was a
Good
good movie,
flick.
but watch it once.
Apollo 13 rewatchable.
90s.
Never seen it.
Everything past 2000, not rewatchable.
I saw some podcast breaking down his run in the 90s specifically.
Sick run.
Holy shit.
I'm going to tell you one thing. Tom Hanks was on a crazy run, but I think we talked about this on Cinephobe, which you get wherever you get podcasts. This week we had Dracula 2000 was our episode last week.
Gerard Butler played Dracula in that
Yes,
one?
he did. Yes, he did.
How bad was his accent?
Oh, man, it was beautiful. Except they pronounce it Draculia for some reason.
Oh, really? Is there a lot of new metal?
A ton of new metal. Come on, it's the year 2000.
Man,
By the way,
Vampire is a new metal.
the movie got greenlit simply because it was titled Dracula 2000.
What came out first, that or Queen of the Damned?
Queen of the Damned. No, wait. Queen of the Damned came out 2001 because she died.
Yeah.
She died. She had already died.
Because that is the quintessential
Aaliyah.
meaning of new metal
Yes.
and vampires.
But I digress. We talked about like who had the best year in movie history, and I think we nailed down. I'll give you Jim Carrey 1994, and you got nothing. Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, and The Mask, all in the same year.
Yep.
Give me any other person with a year as good as that. You can't. Doesn't exist.
Didn't Catch Me If You Can come out in a year where Leo had another big picture?
The Aviator.
The Aviator, that's
in the
pretty good.
span of 1 year, Forrest Gump, Toy Story, Apollo 13. It is 2 different years, but it is the span of 1 year.
No, I'm talking about a calendar year, man. Don't give me 94
Catch
to
Me If You
95.
Can and Aviator's pretty good.
Toy
It's
Story-
not Jim Carrey.
Aviator didn't land as well as they thought it wanted.
Toy Story, Apollo 13.
Aviator, they thought that thing was going to be.
I thought it was going to be huge. And it was a great performance.
Yes.
But that was that weird era where Leo was not really getting the critical
Because he's too good looking. There was an era where like if you were too good looking, couldn't win awards.
It's a damn shame.
You have to be ugly. You have to uglify yourself to win an award.
He did uglify himself.
Not really.
He went crazy. He was Howard Hughes. He went crazy.
No, you got to uglify yourself the whole movie.
He was surrounded by jars of pee and he had long nails.
Charlize Theron in what's it
Monster.
called? In Monster. That's what I'm talking about. Uglify from top to bottom, not like just for a half a second or a half of a segment or whatever.
Oh, I like this game though. I'm going to keep finding more. Travolta certainly had that. We were talking about his run where he was just in everything.
Yeah, but
in
it
the
wasn't.
70s?
They
No,
weren't
in the 90s.
They weren't
after
like
Pulp
after
Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, but
So
they weren't good movies.
Yeah, Phenomenon and Michael and all that stuff.
You know what? Did Nicolas Cage in 97 have a run?
97?
So we're talking Face Off.
Post leaving
Face
Las
Off
Vegas.
was
Rock.
96. Rock was 97. And Con Air was 96, I want to say.
Wow.
Like it's
If
close.
That's all in a 12-month span. My
It's close.
God, pal.
I'm telling you, you got to give me one calendar year. Jim Carrey, Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura, and The Mask. Boom, boom. Like it changed his life. 1994 took him from as a guy from In Living Color to holy shit, this guy is one of the highest paid people in Hollywood now. 1 year. Boom. Amazing.
I'm looking up. It feels almost impossible that Jim Carrey had 3 films go out in one calendar year.
Yeah, man. Because like Ace Ventura was fairly low budget.
Yeah, Ace Ventura was supposed to be bullshit, and Mask was supposed to be bullshit.
Mask, no. Mask.
No, they didn't know that movie was going to.
No, he got a good payday for Mask.
Yeah.
At that point, yeah, but it's also like why I think Dwayne The Rock Johnson's movie is going to be good, The Smashing Machine, because he's already landed all these other big-time roles with Scorsese. They get the dailies. They know. They talk.
Yeah.
So, like, once Ace Ventura did what it did, and that was probably one where they needed proof of concept, boy, was it just making bank.
Yeah, man. I mean, look.
You're absolutely right. February night. It had to be February for Ace Ventura. Had to be February 1994. Then The Mask.
February,
he had his
July,
summer blockbuster tentpole.
Yep.
And then Dumb and Dumber got released around the holidays.
December.
Wow.
December
There you
6th. That is
man.
wild.
That's DMX putting out 2 multi-platinum albums in the same year. I don't know if anyone can find me something better than that. A year, 1 calendar year, not 12 months, not over the span of this. Like from January to December, who had a better year in Hollywood than Jim Carrey in 1994? Changed my life.
I don't know why we wouldn't just take any in 1 year. It can
I'm
be
with
at the
you.
start
Why
of
can't it
one.
just
Like
be in a year?
You found your game.
94.
And you have the winner of. It's like
Give me a year, 94, 95, like 2007. What, Chalamet, Dune, and
I just don't understand why it can't be in a 1 year stretch that was like May to May.
Dune, Wonka, and the most recent one, Bob Dylan.
But that wasn't the same. Wonka was in the same year.
No?
I think Dune 2 and Bob Dylan were in the same year.
Dude, how about 1 month?
What?
1997.
Who?
Nicolas Cage, in the month of June, released Con Air on June 6th.
And The Rock?
And then Face Off on June 27th.
Yeah, man.
That's the strongest month I got.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a great month.
I just put in who's the most famous person to visit my profile who doesn't follow me. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Remember, this is Twitter. Based on public X data and engagement, Elon Musk has viewed threads involving Le Batard affiliates without following many. But profile visits are private. I'm speculating from patterns. Now he's asking me, who's your guess? So I don't really take much.
Not the game,
I do
buddy.
love the idea, though, of Elon Musk just stumbling upon my profile.
Like Chris Cody.
Now
Chris Cody?
I don't think Grock is doing this.
Maybe we're saying it wrong. Maybe
I think
it's Grock.
I think it's Elon Musk. Like that's why it's taking so long to respond.
Well, then Grock is right.
Getting all
because
these
Elon
things.
Musk is visiting Chris's profile.
Wow.
Your family went on a cruise without you? You said you dropped them off at the
Oh, you're talking
port
to
of
me?
Yeah, you said you dropped them off at the port of Miami. Either that or they're like just dock people now.
I work, man.
Yeah,
Like, I'm here.
Yeah,
I got a job.
Attaboy.
Yeah, everybody has a job. You could take a vacation with your family.
I don't need vacation. And you know what? I'm going
Really?
to
Soft.
I'm going to New York this weekend for SummerSlam. That's good enough for me. That's my vacation, man.
All right.
Yeah. No, I'm
Are you
working.
gonna miss any work for it?
Monday of next week. Monday.
You soft
That's
bastard.
it. Just Monday.
You should be working on Monday.
No, but I'm flying back Monday.
No, you fly back after you work. You work and then you fly back.
I don't know.
Work remote.
I can't be here on Monday in New York.
You could
There's
be
1,000 flights from New York.
Yeah, I've done that before.
We also have a studio in New York.
There's
if
a
you wanna
5
do
a.m.
that.
There's a
That's
studio in New
true.
York, number one.
That's
Number
true.
two, there's a 5 a.m. out of Newark that flies into here, gets you on time. You'll get right at the beginning of local hour.
Okay, it's good to know for those people who are going to be on that flight.
So saying what's going on here is just family cruise. I got to work. SummerSlam.
No work.
Priorities,
Work
dog.
and wait.
Come on now. Priorities.
So how's it been solo at the house, at the mansion?
Last time, the best part is that I get to do whatever I want for dinner. That's the best part.
What'd you do last
cuisine?
night?
Yeah.
It's not the best. We told you the rankings yesterday.
Sunday was a nice take yourself out, treat yourself dinner.
Yep.
Mr.
about
Seal
last
Girl.
night?
Yeah, Sunday night I went and I went to a steakhouse. I showed up at the bar by myself. I had myself a ribeye because I was told that filet, it's a very feminine type of steak
Gotta
for me
go
to
ribeye,
have.
yeah,
I don't get
Was
that,
it your
but
first
whatever.
time eating steak?
So I went ribeye. It was great. I was Mr. Steal Your Girl. I looked good and everything. And then last night I ordered in pizza, and I got the exact kind of pizza that I like. I didn't have to ask my family, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? No, I got whatever I wanted. That's right. Great night last night.
What did you want?
Yeah, what's the order?
Wonder what I'm going to do tonight. I got my pizza, all meatballs, that's right. I got breadsticks with it too. Don't you worry about it. I can't wait to see what I'm going to feel like getting tonight because it's about whatever I feel like.